broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Wayne Messmer with the singing of our national anthem here at Comiskey Park. And we'll be back with the first pitch in the second game of the three-game series between the Detroit Tigers and the Chicago White Sox.
Hey, here it is again.
Huh?
That ad for Central Tire.
Oh, yeah, the one about the big sale on Firestone 721 steel-belted radials.
That's right.
You know, honey, both our cars could really use some new Firestones.
And listen to this. For every set of Firestone 721 radials purchased at Central Tire, look it, you get a free tire rotation every 5,000 miles.
Central Tire, now I remember. Donald had his car's front end aligned last week. He said the mechanic did a complete safety inspection free.
Free? Hey, what are we waiting for? I'll call Central Tire while you do the dishes.
Oh, no. You do the dishes, I'll call.
Wait a minute. No.
Right now, Central Tire has a great deal for you. The tire you wished would go on sale just did. The Firestone 721 steel-belted radial white wall is on sale for as low as $43.95. Central Tire Company, Chicagoland's leading discount tire supermarket. Check the Sun Times or the Yellow Pages for the Central Tire location nearest you.
Central Tire, we're always around. Central Tire.
It's a beautiful sun-kissed Saturday afternoon here on the south side of Chicago. The breeze, not much of a factor as it was yesterday, and it appears we'll have the sun with us all afternoon. Our umpiring crew here, this is the same crew the White Sox and the Orioles had in Baltimore. And today it'll be Durwood Merrill working behind home plate, calling the balls and strikes. Tim McClellan will umpire at first base. The umpire-in-chief of the crew, Marty Springstead, will be at second base. And Jim McKeon, the only Canadian national who is an umpire in the American League, will be umpiring over at third base. This is expected to be the second largest crowd, or the top crowd, I should say, on the second day of the season in White Sox history. They're expecting around 30,000. We see the fleet is in. They're sitting out in right field in their pea coats. They're here. Oh, I'm glad they went back to those uniforms with the white hats. Now we know they're sailors and not bus drivers. Well, we've got a good crowd on hand, but there's still plenty of room for you if you're in the area. So come on out here right off the Dan Ryan at 35th Street. As you see, the Chicago White Sox favored to win the Western Division, and the Detroit Tigers favored by many to win the Eastern Division. I figure it's between Detroit, Baltimore, and Toronto. So we're waiting now for the White Sox to hit the field, and they do. Defensively, Tom Paciorek at first, Julio Cruz at second, Scott Fletcher at short, and Vance Law at third. In the outfield, Ron Kittle in left, Rudy Law in center, and Harold Baines in right. And the battery, Floyd Bannister and catcher Carlton Fisk. So Bannister ready to get in his warm-up tosses and ready to tell it to you as we get underway here this afternoon in the second game of the series. Here's Joe McConnell.
I thought you were going to say, tell it like it is, or like we hope it to be.
Well, like we hope it to be, for sure. And tell it like it is. A combination of the two, Joe.
This broadcast is brought to you under rights granted by the White Sox solely for the entertainment of you, our listening audience. And any retransmission of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Chicago White Sox is prohibited. Well, another former Sun Devil from Arizona State, Floyd Bannister, kicking around in the pitching rubber, getting it to his liking as he finishes his final pregame tune-up tosses here. Bannister, 28 years of age, beginning his 8th big league season. He was the #1 draft pick in 1976 for the Houston Astros, and less than a year later, he was in the big leagues. But he had never had this kind of success that he enjoyed a year ago after that disastrous 3-9 first half he finally got his game and his head together at the same time. And he has 5 or 6 different pitches. He's got the velocity. For the most part, he's got the control. He's got all the tools to be a big, big winner in the major leagues for the next few years. Bannister won 13 out of his last 14 a year ago. Hoyt, Bannister, and Dotson, of course, after the All-Star break in 1983, had a combined record of 42-5. We don't expect to see the likes of that again. In fact, it probably has never happened before, and will probably be a long time, and happening again where you have 3 pitchers all going that well for that length of time. Sparky Anderson has Barbet in the lineup today, the right-handed hitter, up from Evansville of a year ago against the left-hander Bannister as he takes out his 2 batting stars of yesterday's 3-2 victory over Dotson. Birdman, who knocked in 2, and of course Evans, who drove in the first run with a hit and had the game winner, both on the Tiger bench here today. See where Lauren's old buddy Pat Corrales has the Cleveland Indians off and running, and that would be an apt description of the Indians. They have won their first 3 ball games, and for the second straight night, they swiped 6 bases last night, and they have now pilfered 13 out of 14 and winning 3 straight. Blyleven and Frazier combined for a 6-hit shutout last night over the Kansas City Royals. The peg around the infield, Whitaker, Trammell, and Garbet are the first 3 scheduled batters for the Tigers, who are tied with Cleveland, the top of the Eastern Division, with a perfect 3-0 record. Lou Whitaker 0 for 4 yesterday, 2 for 12 on the year, although he did manage to cross the plate 4 times in the 2-game sweep up in Minnesota. He'll lead it off for the Tigers. Little left-handed batter. Hit .320 a year ago. He and Trammell, both 6 years in the league, both 26 years of age, both made the jump together from Double-A, and are both tremendously accurate defensive players as well as fine hitters. Outfield way around to the left and only medium deep for Whitaker. Bannister, the left-hander, into the windup. Here's the first pitch. Fastball up and in. Leans Whitaker away from the plate. Ball 1. In on the edge of the grass and shallow at third is Vance Law. Bannister adds a sign, delivers, swung on, and the ball is looped into center field. A hit for Whitaker, and the Tigers have the leadoff man on. Whitaker 0 for 4 yesterday, jumps on Bannister's second pitch, and Buggy whips it into center field, the first hit of the ball game. Brings up Trammell. He hit 1 point less than his second base counterpart Whitaker last year, .319. He was 0 for 3 yesterday, although he scored a run and stole a base. He is 6 for 12 on the year, .500 batting average with a home run and 2 RBIs. Floyd Bannister, the left-hander, bends way over at the waist to read the sign from Carlton Fisk. Outfield medium deep and a bit around to the left, expecting Trammell to pull. He bats out of a closed stance. First pitch, curve in there. Belt high for a called strike in the inside corner. Trammell turned around very quickly and questioned the Texan behind the plate, Durwood Merrill. Steps out for a moment to check with third base coach, former big league manager Alec Gramis. Gramis, the coach at third for Sparky Anderson. His long buddy, Dick Trzeski, the first base coach for the Tigers. Bannister to the belt, delivers, fastball just missed outside, 1-1. Whitaker at first base, nobody out. Game just underway here. A much brighter day today, and the wind not quite as severe off the lake, but it's still mighty chilly. Bannister has a sign. The left-hander from Scottsdale delivers. Fastball swung on late, foul back, hit the corner of the screen on the first base side behind the plate. 1-2 the count to Trammell. Barbet on deck. He'll be followed by Parrish, Herndon, Rod Allen, Lemon, Gibson, and Brookins. Tiger batting order here in Game 2. Sox took 8 out of 12 against Detroit last year, despite the fact the Tigers out-hit the Sox by about 30 points per man in the season series. And they also had a 10-2 edge over Detroit 2 years ago. Throw to first, runner back. Prior to that, however, the Tigers had owned the White Sox for almost a half a dozen years. Trammell at the plate, Whitaker aboard with nobody out, Bannister to the belt. 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Swung on, double play ball, hit to Scott Fletcher. Takes it on in between hop, flips to Cruz, on to first. 2, they get the double play. 6-4-3, and that's double play number 3 on the year and in the series for the White Sox. Let's pause for station identification with today's salute to affiliate WKBI in Knox, Indiana on the White Sox Radio Network.
More winning sweepstakes numbers after the game, so be listening for your winning numbers and win the prize of your dreams from 67 WMAQ Chicago. It is 1 o'clock.
Barbero Garbe steps in, right-handed batter, 27-year-old rookie, hit .321 with the Evansville Triplets, the Tigers' AAA farm entry in the American Association last year. He had 14 home runs, 59 RBIs for the Trips, 0 for 1 in the big leagues. This is his first big league start, right-handed batter. First pitch by Bannister is a curve in there for a call strike of beauty, knee-high right over the heart of the plate. Garbe is from Santiago, Cuba, and now makes his home in Miami. Right-handed batter, fairly close to the plate, straightaway upright stance. Takes a fastball a bit outside, let her high, and it's 1-1. Two out, nobody on. Bannister kicks and deals. Fastball high, ball 2. Outfield medium deep, just a shade around to the left for Garbe. They may have expected 30,000 today, Lauren. I don't think they're going to get it, but the crowd might be somewhere in the lower 20s. Good crowd, though. 2-1 delivery on the way to Garbe. Fastball, strike, call. Let her high, and it's 2-2. Well, the Cubs lost a tough one last night. Close call at the plate. Could have gone either way. The Padres remain the only unbeaten team in the National League with a 9th inning 3-2 win. There's a swing and a miss. As Bannister, the left-hander, tied up the right-handed hitting Garbe with a fastball right inside, right under the hands, and he strikes him out swinging, his first 1984 K of the year. No runs, a hit, but the double play took care of the runner, and after a half inning of play, the Tigers nothing, the Sox coming to bat.
Roll down your window and listen to the sound of Chicago wasting money. Every business day, over 500,000 Chicago executives spend at least 1 hour behind the wheel. Stuck in traffic, going nowhere, doing nothing. Even at the conservative rate of $25 an hour, the annual tab for all this wasted brain power comes to over $3.8 billion. No wonder thousands of Chicago executives are equipping their cars with Line 1 mobile service from Ameritech Mobile Communications. With a Bell-quality Line 1 cellular car telephone, you can do more than drive. You can work, dialing direct to anyone, anywhere in the world on your own private line. Find out how you can rent or lease a Line 1 car telephone from an authorized Ameritech agent for as little as $99 a month. Call 1-800-MOBILE-1. That's 1-800-MOBILE-1. But hurry. When you're out of touch, you're out of business.
Webolt's, your quality and value store, is having an absolutely incredible anniversary sale. Items store-wide at 25% off, 30% off, 40% off. In fact, Webolt's is going wild with up to 50% off on everything you and your family might need. And sign up to win thousands of dollars in prizes, including an Epson QX10 complete home computer system. No purchase necessary, void where prohibited. You'll have to see this sale to believe it.
Come in and see what Webolt's has for you.
The Detroit Tigers have taken their defensive positions on the field behind the 6'3" right-hander from St. Paul, Minnesota, 20-game winner Jack Morris. It'll be Herndon in left, Lemon in center, Gibson in right. The best outfield in baseball, according to Tiger manager Sparky Anderson. Could find no fault with their play yesterday. In fact, Chet Lemon had 8 catches in center field yesterday. Brookins will be at third base. He finished out yesterday's game. Travel and Whitaker up the middle. Garbe at first in place of Evans, and Parrish behind the plate. Morris, 28 years of age, beginning a 7th full big league season. Pitched at BYU and was a number 5 draft choice in 1976. But the Tigers came up a little more than a year later and finished 1-1 late in 77. Was 3-5 in the entire 1978 season, then was sent down. Started the 1979 year at Evansville, came back up when he was ready this time around. He wound up with a 17-7 record for the Tigers. And he has won 84 games in 5 years, and he has finished 3rd in the Cy Young Award balloting twice. In 81, when he led the league in that strike-shortened season with 14 wins. Last year, he finished 3rd in the balloting for the Cy Young Award. He led the league in innings pitched last year, 293 2/3, in strikeouts with 232, was 2nd behind Toronto's Dave Steve in starts and complete games. He finished 20 of the 37 games he started. Rudy Law will step in. Hitless in 4 at-bats yesterday. Rudy 2 for 8 on the year with an RBI. Left-handed batter. He'll be followed by Fisk and Baines here in the bottom of the first inning. Already we're 3 runs better than we were a day ago.
That's right. The Tigers have been shut out now for 9 innings. If you want to look at a positive note.
Why not? Here's the first pitch to Rudy. Fastball outside, ball 1. Morris has been clocked in the mid to upper 90s, and he has a Devastating slider to go with that fastball, and he's been working on an off-speed pitch.
And they said he threw a split-finger fastball in that game. He struck out 8 at Minnesota.
Fastball strike. He piped it right down the middle, knee high. 1-1 the count to Rudy Law. They play him, well, respectively deep with that wind blowing in today, and a bit around to the left. Off the line and even with an infield grass at third is Tommy Brookins. The pitch to Rudy. He swings and hits one high and deep to right field. Going back is Gibson to the wall, and he makes the catch right up against the fence below the bullpen number 1 side. Boy, Rudy put a charge into that one.
He really did, and Gibson played that ball much better today than he did off that double that was hit by Pachorik yesterday that scored a run. And when he got that ball off the bat, I didn't think Gibson was going to catch up to it, but speed makes up for any mistakes, though he didn't make any mistake at all. He played it perfectly.
Well, it's a much easier day because the wind is not quite the factor that it was yesterday, that it's spiraling effect.
That's right. Did they give us the temperature and the wind velocity?
They did, and I didn't hear it.
We'll
but
get
it's
it.
in the mid-40s. Here's Carlton Fisk stepping in, 2 for 6 on the year, 1 for 3, a double yesterday. Pudge has hit 13 lifetime home runs against the Tigers. Morris into the windup. Here's the pitch to Fisk, and he takes low a ball. The Orioles failed to score in the first inning up at Minnesota. Boddicker had his head handed to him by the Twins yesterday. Here's the pitch. Pudge takes a slider just inside of the knees. Morris wanted that one. Ball 2.
Talking to Danny Carvelli, who's here scouting the White Sox for the Cleveland Indians. We're talking about how tough it is for a guy like Boddicker earlier in the year, a breaking ball pitcher, to really get in a groove.
I think it's also a little tougher for a breaking ball pitcher to pitch indoors.
That could be as well.
There's a swing, a broken bat, looper down the left field side, and it's going to drift foul into the lower boxes. And Fisk is holding the entire length of the bat. It's split down the middle, not across the barrel, but down the barrel. And half of it went into the lower seats on the third base side. And Fisk was holding the rest of it in his hand.
I tell you what, you couldn't make a chair with baseball bats split in half. A carpenter couldn't have done it as good as he did. He split that right down the middle.
Right down the middle of the barrel, all the way down to the handle. So he rubs a little pine tar on a new one. 2 balls and a strike to Fisk. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of inning number 1. No score. Bud steps back in there with a new weapon. Brunansky and Herbeck took Boddicker deep yesterday as the Twins pounded Lutz on the Rookie of the Year a year ago. Rookie Pitcher of the Year. Morris delivers now to Fisk, and it's a strike at the knees. Good pitch in the inside corner. The count is even at 2-2.
He didn't like it at all. Having a word with Derwin Merrill right now.
Well, Morris wasn't too happy with an earlier pitch that was called a ball to Pudge. Now maybe it's even up. 2-2 the count. That's all even. And the score is even. No score. Bottom of the first inning. Davey Nelson coaching at first. Jimmy Leland over at third for the Sox. Outfield deep and around to the left for Pudge. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed as Morris with an off-speed breaking ball struck him out. He was way out in front. That's the 9th strikeout already this year for Morris, who fanned 8 in his 7-inning appearance when he got the wind at Minnesota.
Taking a look what that off-speed, just a curveball. He took something off him. Well, tomorrow it'll be Sox Painters Cap here at Comiskey Park. First 15,000 fans attending the game will get one, courtesy of White Sox Pizza. And remember, only 4,000 box seats available for tomorrow's game.
Harold Baines in there, and the first pitch is into the dirt. Scooped up nicely by Lance Parrish, the big Tiger backstop, and it's ball 1. Harold 2 hits and 8 at bats, but he's knocked in 3 runs, including the game winner in Baltimore when he doubled into. Left-handed batter, they play him deep and almost straight away. Swings and fouls one into the dirt. At home plate, the count even, a ball and a strike. Baines 1 for 3 yesterday, so in effect he has a 2-game hitting streak going. So does Fisk. So does Pachorik, and so does Cruz. They've each hit safely in both Sox outings so far this year. Ball and a strike to Baines. That closed stance, rocking back and forth, cocks the bat over the left shoulder. Here's the pitch by Morris. Swung on, hit high and foul down the right field side, out of play. Ball lands on top of the roof. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tom Seaver will make his first appearance in a Sox uniform regular scheduled game tomorrow, weather permitting, and his mound opponent will be the right-hander from Michigan. Pitching for the Tigers, Dave Rozema. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Morrison to the windup. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed on a pitch into the dirt. Baines goes down swinging on a bad pitch. 2 strikeouts in the first inning for Morris, and a 1-2-3 frame for the right-hander. No score at the end of 1.
The White Sox, WMAQ.
Boy, this is a big bar you got here.
Biggest bar in Texas.
Took me an hour just to walk in from the lobby.
Should have waited for our shuttle bus.
Can I have a Bud Light, please?
You know, there have been nights when we've had 9, maybe 10,000 folks in here.
Boy, this is big. Bud Light,
Our
bartender.
dance floor has its own zip code.
Yeah, it's big. How come the place is deserted?
Everybody's waiting for the Bud Light to be delivered.
You mean you're all out? Then I'm out of here.
Now, hold your horses. They'll be delivering my Bud Light any minute now.
I really like the taste of Bud Light.
And you and 10,000 others that come in here.
Won't fill you up either.
Yeah, the jockeys like that fact.
Jockeys.
Yeah, you see that horse racetrack going around behind the zoo?
Boy, this is
Hey,
big.
excuse me. I hear the Bud Light are coming, and I got to give them directions.
Directions?
This is Big Bar, Texas, to Bud Light Flight 59. Our moonroof is open. You're cleared to land your 747 on our runway 3. The
Boy, this is big.
Ask for Bud Light, the less filling light beer with a first name and taste, and that's a big taste.
We're up to 4 5 today now.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Compare quality, value, in price. It's Toyota. 16 all-new, tougher than ever, roomier than ever truck models. Extra cab, the roomiest Toyota truck. Extra storage space behind the seats. Most legroom of any small truck. Double wall bed. 100 horsepower. 1,600-pound payload. 2-wheel and 4-wheel drive models. Compare extra cab to any other make of small truck. It's Toyota, not the other guys. Your Chicagoland Toyota dealers got it right.
The Tigers will send up Lance Parrish, Larry Herndon, and Rod Allen, the numbers 4, 5, and 6 hitters in their lineup. Both pitchers faced the minimum number of batters in the first inning, 3. The Tigers have the only hit. Steve Trout will pitch tonight for the Cubbies out at San Diego, and we understand that Trout, who won 9 a year ago for the Cubs, had an outstanding spring, and they're hopeful, of course, that he'll be able to carry that success into regular season play. They're desperate for a left-handed starter on the north side. We wish Trout and the Cubs good luck tonight at San Diego as they try to improve their record. Lance Parrish, 1 for 3 with a run scored yesterday, 2 for 9 on the year with 2 RBIs, will step in. Oh, he is built like a bodyguard, and he was for a while. He's a walking safe. And he challenges the myths of baseball, wears the number 13 on the back of his gray Tiger road uniform. As he steps in there, he bats out of a closed upright stance. They play him deep and around to the left, both in the infield and in the outfield. Bannister has a sign. The left-hander rocks into the windup. Here's the pitch. Fastball a bit close at the knee. Ball 1. Lower boxes are pretty well filled, and we've got people in the lower and upper decks, and a lot of people out in the sun bleachers in center field. There's an off-speed curveball, just missed inside again, knee high, and it's 2-0. Herndon on deck. Floyd Bannister, born in Pierre, South Dakota, now makes his home in Scottsdale, Arizona. Delivers strike on the outside corner, 2-1. Parrish has hit 8 lifetime home runs against the White Sox. None last year, however. The windup by Banny. Here's the pitch. Curve, and it just missed inside, ball 3. And Bannister not too happy with Derwin Merrill with that particular call. Tugs on the bill of his cap, kind of shakes his head out there. Parrish waiting at the plate with a 3-1 count in his favor. Here's the delivery by Bannister. Ball 4, low and away, walked him. Tigers have their second base runner for the second straight inning. They get the leadoff man on. We'll bring up Larry Herndon. 0 for 3 yesterday. Herndon off to a slow start. 1 hit and 10 at-bats, but he does have a run batted in. Big year last year for this tall, lanky right-handed batter. A 302 average. 92 RBIs with 20 round trippers, and he's hit 43 of his lifetime 64 home runs in the last 2 years. He never hit more than 8 in any of his previous years in the National League. They play him deep almost straight away. Here's the pitch. Runner going, swung on, foul ball off to the first base side into the upper deck. Sparky right away on the hit and run. Well, the Twins didn't waste any time against left-hander Mike Flanagan of Baltimore. They rocked him with a 2-run first-inning homer. Timmy Tuffle, who is a good-looking young hitter, just cranked out his first round trip of the year with a man on. That's Butcher. They also got Smithson, who won yesterday. The Twins pitching Butcher against Baltimore today at the Met Center, and they lead it 2-0 after 1. Here's the pitch now to Herndon. Swung on and missed as Manny blew a fastball right by.
Remember last year the Twins went into Baltimore and swept 4 games in a row from the Orioles in Baltimore. Then Baltimore turned the tide on them when they came back to the Met and did the same thing to Minnesota in the Dome.
If the Twins can get any kind of catching and pitching at all, they're going to be a decent ball club.
I tell you, they battle you. I admired them last year late in the season when they came in here. They don't give up.
The pitch on the way to Herndon. Fastball a bit high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, I guess they were really on Herbeck's case down in spring training, claiming he was 20 pounds overweight. 1-2 the count to Herndon. Parrish at first, Paciorek holding. Here's the pitch, swung on and slapped foul into the first row of the upper deck about halfway down the right field line. That ball was almost by Herndon. Still 1-2. The Yankees are sending left-hander Ray Fontenot against Danny Darwin, the side-wheeling right-hander at Texas today. Bruce Hurst, who split his 24 decisions, southpaw for the Red Sox, against Bob Warren, Mike Warren, the youngster that no-hit us late last year. There's a high pop foul first base side. There might be a play. Nope, it's into the first row behind the Tiger dugout as Fisk went all the way over to that low box seat railing and watched it drop out of reach. Mike Warren no-hit the White Sox in the final week of the 1983 season. He finished up with a 5-2 record, and he's getting his first start today against Bruce Hurst and the Red Sox out of Oakland, where the A's have won 3 straight. Youngster by the name of Jeffcoat pitching for Cleveland against Jackson, youngster for the Royals. And Steve, who worked only a handful of innings in all of spring training, pitching for Toronto in California tonight against Ken Forsch, who won the opener for the Angels earlier this year. And the Brewers still looking for that first win under Rini Latchman, going against Seattle, and they're using a rookie by the name of Langston tonight. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Herndon, runner going, and it's foul back to the wire. Another full cut by Herndon on a good Bannister fastball. The count holds at 1-2.
Yeah, they talk about the Yankees having problems in that Kingdome. The Brewers have always had problems in that Kingdome as well.
In fact, I did a couple of freelance games or wild card games, or whatever you want to call them, 2 years ago for the Sports Vision people at that time, and was out in Seattle when the Brewers fired Buck Rogers and brought in Harvey Keene. They were a game under at that time, and then, of course, they went on to win the American League pennant. There's the pitch now to Herndon. Swung on, and he just barely got a piece of that late breaking curve and fouled it back. Bannister had him tied up there with a pitch in under the hands. That's Danny Jackson pitching for Kansas City. Several new names on the pitching list today. Jackson, a left-hander.
Can't tell a player without a scorecard.
That's true. Throw to first, the runner is back. Well, Herndon's been up there a long time. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bannister looking in to get the sign. Now the left-hander to the belt. Comes to the plate. Fastball outside, ball 2. Some of the fans kind of oohed and ahhed on that call, but really the pitch wasn't close. Herndon steps back in there with a 2-2 count. Parrish, who walked the lead off the inning, over at first. Bannister again to the stretch, and again goes over to first base instead of the plate. Leaning in to get the sign. Now the left-hander to the belt. Here's the pitch. Herndon swings and hits a fly ball to right. Bain started back. Now freezes, comes in a couple of steps and makes the catch in medium right. 1 gone. Right-handed hitting Rod Allen, who was a 6th-round draft choice in 1977 with the White Sox. He was the 3rd player involved in the 3-for-1 trade that brought Tom Paciorek to Chicago. They sent Jim Essien, the catcher. Todd Cruz now over at Baltimore, and Ron Allen to Seattle to obtain the services of Paciorek 2 years ago. Allen started the year in Seattle, hit 167 in 11 games. They sent him down to Salt Lake where he hit 324. And here he is on the opening day Tiger roster. As a DH, he was 1 for 3 and 2 runs scored in his one appearance at Minnesota. First pitch to the right-handed hitting Allen. He swings and nubs a foul down and back, and the count is 0-1. Allen, native of Los Angeles, 24 years of age. You can hear Andy the Clown in the background trying to warm up the fans a little bit here at Comiskey. Bannister to the belt. Here's the pitch on the way. Allen takes a fastball, strike to a beauty right under the hands, inside part of the plate.
He didn't have a chance. That ball was right on top of him before he could even react.
I know why I've got all these new starters in the American League. They're all left-handers. Got a new crop of left-handers on opening day. Now the stretch by the White Sox left-hander Bannister. Here's the pitch to Allen. Low and inside. He had to do a dance to get out of the way to avoid getting hit in the foot with that one. That'll loosen him up a bit.
It will.
Well, I watched that Cub game last night in the ninth inning. Hebner was up there with bases loaded and 2 out. Sid Manji pitching, and he threw 2 right at Hebner's ear. And Hebner finally walked to force in the tying run. Cubs later lost at the bottom of the ninth. The stretch and a throw to first, runner back. 1-2 to count to Roderick Allen. 1 on, 1 out. Tigers second, no score. Bannister working very, very slowly here in the second. There's a quick snap throw to first, but the catcher Parrish hadn't even taken his foot off the bag. Chet Lemon on deck, swinging a bat for the Tigers. Now the stretch by Floyd Bannister. Here's the pitch to Allen. Swung on and line foul into the lower seats on the first base side under the upper deck. Yeah, that ball was almost by him. Well, the left-handers we're talking about, Mark Langston, a young left-hander starting for Seattle tonight against the Brewers. And Danny Jackson and Mike Jeffcoat, both rookie left-handers, pitching for Cleveland and Kansas City respectively at Royal Stadium tonight. Stretch by Bannister. The pitch to Allen. Just missed a slider just outside of the knees, and Bannister stormed off the front of the rubber. Derwood Merrill getting a little grief from both sides here early in the ball game. Bannister really wanted that pitch. Tried to backdoor him on the outside edge, and it looked like a pretty good throw. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Allen wears number 12 on the back of his Tiger uniform. Bannister again has the sign. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. He completely tied him up with an off-speed curve down and in. 2 strikeouts for Bannister. Here's Chet. Chester, a triple in 4 at-bats yesterday, has now hit 2 3-baggers on the year to go with a double and an RBI. So 3 of his 4 hits have been for extra bases. He's 4 for 12 as he steps in there. 2 out. Parrish at first.
I don't know if you noticed, the Tiger note says that Lemon credits his friendship with celebrated writer Joe Goddard for his fast start. Joe writing for the Chicago Sun-Times.
Curve and a beauty on the outside corner for a call strike. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's right here. Dan Ewald comes up with some gems. You got to look for him every day. He's got them buried in there.
I got to wonder what kind of a start he's talking about. Chet Crods at plate. Slight bend. Straightaway stance. Here's the pitch. Fastball just inside. 1-1. They played Chet to pull around to the left of the outfield and pretty deep. Chet will be 30 before the year's over. This is his 9th big league season. He was originally signed by the Angels and, of course, spent the first 4 or 5 years with the White Sox. Stretched by the left-hander Bannister and a toss to first instead. The count to Chet Lemon. Parrish at first, 2 out. We're in the top of the second, no score. Now time is called as Chet backed out of the batter's box just as Bannister was getting set to deliver the pitch. Didn't know, of course, until I read the papers this morning that Willie Hernandez, who got the save yesterday here for Milt Wilcox, was feeling a bit ill. Said he was fortunate to get out of the game. Here's the delivery to Chet Lemon, swung on and pulled foul on the ground behind the third base coach Alec Gramis, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He didn't look too ill, did he?
No, although Kittle really got good wood on that ball in a 3-2 pitch leading off the bottom of the ninth, and on an ordinary day that ball probably would have reached the lower decks. For certain, Fisk would have had one yesterday.
And unfortunately, too, they were playing him back at the warning track in the ninth, not wanting to let any balls get beyond them.
Right. Now Floyd's going to get a new spheroid.
Did you say steroid?
No, spheroid.
Oh, spheroid. Thank you. Want to clear that up immediately.
Well, I didn't think there was any problem. 1-2 the count. Now Benny's ready. Here's the pitch to Lemon. Just inside again. There was a bullet, a hard slider, just under the hands, belt high in the inside corner, but Durwood said it missed too close, and the count is 2-2. The thing I like about Bannister, he's really challenging the hitters this year. He's loose and relaxed, fully confident now that he has reached his peak, or about to reach his peak as a big league pitcher. There's a change-up curve that's a bit low. Almost had Chet all the way through the ball, and he held back just in time, and the count is full 3-2, which means with 2 outs, Parrish will be breaking with the next pitch. Neither pitcher appears to be too happy with Durwood Merrill, the home plate umpire at the moment. Now Banny's ready. Pachorik backs off the bag at first. There's a swing and a deep drive left field as Chet got a hold of that one. It's at the wall. It is gone. 8 rows up for the lower deck and left, and Chet Lemon has powered the Tigers to a 2-0 lead with his first home run of the year. Came on a 3-2 pitch.
3-2 pitch right down the pipe with a fastball, and he got all of it.
Wind or no wind, he jacked that one right out of here. That's Chet's 3rd lifetime home run against his former mates. The other 2 came last year, and he got a fastball up about 6 inches above his belt line, right out over the heart of the plate, and he really wailed on it. Kurt Gibson steps in, 1 for 10 on the year, a home run and 3 RBIs. He had a game winner at Minnesota. And he takes a fastball strike call just above the knees, inside corner. Gibson 0 for 2 with a couple of walks scored yesterday. They play him around to the left. They don't expect him to pull the left-handed pitching Bannister. Outside a breaking ball, 1-1. Tigers are on the board here with a 2-run shot into the lower deck in left by Chet Lemon. Curve low and away, ball 2. Well, Bannister thought he had Lemon twice. The count reached 3-2, and he grooved one, and Chet jumped on it. Matty ready, the pitch to Gibson. Swung on, pop foul. It's going to drift back out of play at third base side. Count all even at 2-2. Vance Law is playing extremely shallow and in on the grass at third because Gibson can really fly for a big guy, and he likes to bunt once in a while.
Now he goes back a little further with a 2-2 count.
Chet now has 5 hits on the year, 4 of them for extra bases. Here's the windup in the pitch, and it bounced in. Blocked by Fisk. That ball hit a foot in front of home plate into the dirt, and Bannister angrily snaps at the return throw. It's usually a curveball the pitcher hangs on to a bit too long. Three and 2, full count on Gibson. Here's the payoff pitch. Ball 4 up and in. He lost it. That's the second walk in the inning. Home run by Chet, by the way. Number 1 here at Comiskey Park this year.
Fisk and Cruz out of the mound trying to settle him down. Looked like he was going to get out of that last inning after the leadoff walk to Parrish in this inning, after getting Herndon and striking out Rod Allen. And he thought he had Lemon struck out, but did not get the call, and then belted that 3-2 pitch out of here, and now the walk to Gibson.
Here's the number 9 Detroit batter, right-handed hitting Tommy Brookins. 0 for 5 on the year, hit only .214 in 1983. Quick throw to first, Gibson's back. You got to watch him. With 2 out, he'll probably be given the green light. Brookins 0 for 1 yesterday. Slightly closed stance. They move in a bit in the outfield for him. First pitch, strike called inside corner, and that pitch looked like it was about 8 inches inside.
You know, that's the big difference in being a good base runner, having speed, and being a good stolen base man. Somewhat surprising, Gibson had only 14 stolen bases last year. Though his batting average was way down. He was hitting only .227 for the year. Did you get on a whole lot?
There's a swing and a little dribbler hit out to the second sacker. Cruz, who flips to the shortstop. Fletcher for the force play of Gibson at second, and that kills off the Tigers in the second. They get 2 runs on a couple of walks and a 2-run homer by Chet Lemon, a man left, and after an inning and a half, the Tigers have a 2-0 edge.
The last rough estimate I got on a transmission job was reasonable. Then I saw the final bill. I said baloney, which we ate for a month to pay the bill. So I went to AMCO. They don't give rough estimates. For any service AMCO recommends, they quote an exact price. So take your transmission to AMCO. Because when mechanics tell you what it'll cost in the neighborhood of, you probably can't afford to live there.
Last year, over 1 million people depended on AMCO, AA, MCO. Why go anywhere else?
Talk to Tony La Russa tomorrow night at 8 on WMAQ.
Hello, Danny's Auto Repair.
You've invested a lot in the tools of your trade.
Sure we do, tune-ups. What kind of car you got?
You want them to pay off.
In fact, we just got a new diagnostic.
You want to keep them busy.
Bring the car in. How about
That's why you also invest in the Yellow Pages, where your ad is on the job day in, day out, year-round.
Hello, Danny's Auto Repair.
The Yellow Pages.
Sounds like your wheels need alignment.
It's the small investment that keeps your big investments paying off.
Yeah, bring it in. We'll check it out.
Why do we call Texaco's Haviland Supreme Motor Oil Supreme? It's the finest 10W40 motor oil we've ever offered. It not only gives you proven engine protection up front, demonstrated in over 1 million miles of state trooper testing, it also gives you improved mileage. In fuel economy tests, Haviland Supreme delivered improved mileage compared to a conventional 10W40 motor oil. Trooper tested protection and improved mileage in one motor oil. No wonder we call this Haviland Supreme.
The White Sox have private party areas available for every occasion. You can rent a beautiful sky suite to watch the game in unmatched luxury. Or you can rent the White Sox patio area for a tremendous pregame picnic buffet spread. Or watch the game from an outfielder's eye view from bullpen number 1 or bullpen number 2. For ticket information, call 924-1000 and ask for group sales.
Jack Morris already won victory to his credit this year as a 2-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the second inning, and Lazinski, Kittle, and Paciorek will come to the plate in that order, and hopefully a few more as the White Sox try to get back into it. Lazinski 0 for 3, drove in a run with a sacrifice fly ball yesterday. His first RBI of the year. He's 1 for 7 on the season as he steps in against Jack Morris. Outfield deep and around to the left, infield back on the outer rim of the grass. First pitch on the way, and the Bull takes a strike call. 0-1. Morris has the sign, the right-hander into the windup, the leg kick and the delivery. Slider low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Morris had 2 first-inning strikeouts. He fanned Fisk and Baines. Harold went fishing for a pitch into the dirt, struck out to end the first inning. Morris ready. The pitch on the way, and Lazinski fouls it back into the upper deck right below us here behind the plate. The count is 1-2. Top 2 strikeout pitchers of the American League facing each other here today. Morris and Bannister finished 1-2 in '83. But Morris pitched 76 more innings than did Floyd Bannister, and chalked up 39 more strikeouts. So Floyd actually had more strikeouts per innings pitched. 1-2 pitch on the way, and Lazinski hits one high and fairly deep right center field. Chet Lemon moving over into right center. The wind help turns it away. Now he comes in a few steps and one hands it for the out. Ball just hung up there like a large grapefruit, and there's one gone. Here's Kittle. Kittle, last year's American League Everyday Player Rookie of the Year, still looking for that first 1984 hit, although he hit the ball hard twice in the 9th inning yesterday. 0 for 6 with an RBI. 0 for 3 in yesterday's first game of the Tigers. He hit 3 of his 35 home runs against Detroit last year, despite the fact he had a lowly 169 average and had only 5 hits against Detroit all year. There's a pop fly in the shallow center. Going out is Whitaker, and he makes the catch about 4 steps in front of Chet Lemon, who was racing in from center field. So Kittle pops up into shallow right center, and Whitaker went out to haul it in for the second out. bring up Tom Paciorek, who, such as it is swinging the hot bat for the Sox right now. 3 hits and 7 at-bats, a .429 average. He had a couple of doubles yesterday, and he's knocked in a run. 2 for 4 in yesterday's first game against the Tigers. Morris delivers, swung on and fouled back to the base of the screen behind the plate. The count. Outfield deep straight away for Paciorek. 2 out, nobody on here in the home half of the second. The Tigers on Chet Levin's 2-run homer lead it by those 2 runs. Pitch on the way, and Paciorek waves at it and misses. 2 strikes to count. Tommy opens up a bit against Morris. That's out of that deep, widespread crouch. Morris delivers, swung on, foul back as Paciorek had a good rip at a slider away from him. Count holds at 2 strikes. Seaver against Rozema in the wrap-up tomorrow, weatherman permitting. Off day on Monday. Our first True Value baseball card night Tuesday, and our first night game as well with Cleveland in town. Hoyt will get the start Tuesday night. Pitch on the way to Paciorek. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Breaking ball low and away. Dropped by Parrish. Picks it up. Tags Paciorek. 3 strikeouts and 2 perfect innings of work for Jack Morris. And after the 2 frames, Detroit 2, the Sox nothing.
If you've been thinking about buying a Buick or Olds, think twice. Why spend more when your Chicagoland Chevy dealers offer a comparable car for less? The front-wheel drive Cavalier starts at only $62,414. That's $919 less than the Buick Skyhawk, $992 less than Olds Forenza. Or consider the front-wheel drive Chevy Celebrity with a starting price of only $77,002. That's $13,003 less than Old Sierra, $14,008 less than Buick Century. Manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes tax, title, and destination charges. Level of standard equipment may vary. All cars may be created equal. Some just happen to cost less. Chevy Cavalier and Chevy Celebrity are just 2 great examples at your 62 Chicagoland Chevy dealers. The guys with a blue bow tie.
Stop by McInnery Chevrolet Chicago, Old Orchard Chevrolet Skokie, Jack Phelan Chevrolet 2, Berwyn, and Phillips Chevrolet in Frankfort.
Hi, Pat Summerall to say you can make your home safer and less attractive to thieves by installing home security products from True Value hardware stores. Like an ITT Deluxe Yard Light for just $39.99, featuring a 100-watt mercury vapor lamp that turns on at dusk and off at dawn to light up your yard or driveway. And keep thieves from knowing when you're away with the help of a Diablo sensor timer. This dependable tabletop lamp timer is just $10.99 at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Harmon's Fanfare stores are the official stop for White Sox merchandise. So visit Fanfare, the official Sox shop. When you do, you receive a free Let's Do It Again bumper sticker. And you can register for a weekly drawing of 2 box seats for a future White Sox game.
What kind of high octane is your buddy Pat Corrales pumping into those Cleveland Indians?
I'll tell you, they're running. They've stolen 13 out of 14 attempts in stolen bases.
Well, 12 in the last 2 games.
And Blyleven pitched a beautiful ball game. He'll be pitching here on Wednesday night. He struck out 8.
He's either awesome or awful.
Yes.
There's not much middle ground with him.
I remember Jack Brohammer used to eat him up when Brohammer played second base for the White Sox. One of the few guys on that particular team that did.
He blanked us on a 2-hitter last year at Cleveland. Here's the first pitch to Lou Whitaker, leading off the Tiger third, and the pitch is a bit low for a ball. He singled to start the ball game against Bannister, then was erased in a double play ball off the bat of Alan Trammell, who's on deck. And he kicks and deals. Swung on, little looping fly ball into left field. Kittle moving over near the line. He's got plenty of room, and he hauls it in for the first out. Whitaker flies to Kittle near the left field line. Here's Trammell. He hit a tailor-made double play ball to Scott Fletcher at short. His first trip up against Bannister. He was absolutely cold-cocked here yesterday in a brush collision with Larry Herndon, the Tiger left fielder, chasing a twisting fly ball down the left field line. But after the smelling salts aroused him, he was back in and finished the game. He takes a fastball a bit too close, ball 1.
He didn't look too pretty in the clubhouse. Got a pretty good bruise up on that upper right cheekbone. Luckily, he didn't get anything in his eye.
Bannister ready. He comes to the plate. Fastball outside. 2-0 now to Trammell. The Tigers on Chet Lemon's 2-run homer, leading it 2-0 here in the top of the third. Outfield straightaway, medium deep for Trammell. Infield straightaway also. The pitch on the way. Strike at the knees. It's 2-1. Bannister nods his head. Here's the pitch. Blowing inside, 3-1. Floyd has 2 strikeouts, 2 walks so far in the 2 innings. In fact, he's got 2s all the way across. 2 hits allowed, 2 runs, both earned. The 3-run delivery on the way to travel. He lines it into left field. Kittle got a good jump, moves over and makes the knee-high running catch. Nice going, Ronnie. Ball was well hit, but Kittle got a good jump. No, he's never going to be a Golden Glover, but if you had seen him trying to flag down those fly balls in spring training a year ago in '83, you'd have wondered whether he was ever going to be able to field well enough to stay in the big leagues. But Jimmy Leland deserves a lot of credit. He worked hours with Kittle, and of course Kittle himself deserves a lot of credit. He and Greg Walker both have worked very hard to become adequate defensively. 2 out. Here's Garbe, who struck out in the first inning. He swings and chops a foul down and back, 0-1. The biggest improvement I've noticed in Kittle's defensive efforts this year is the fact that he seems to have more of an idea of where to go with the ball once he gets it. That was a big problem last year.
Well, they're still working on him in spring training to hit the cutoff man. They got a few fines, $1, $2 for not, but it just comes with time, and he's getting better at all phases defensively, as you indicated.
Pitched low to Garbe for a ball. It's 1-1. Well, some players are more instinctive than others, and it's not been a natural thing for Kittle. He's worked very hard. 1-1 pitch, foul back off the facade of the upper deck behind home plate, bounces down into the lower boxes. The count is 1-2 to Barbero Garbe. Spelled G-A-R-B-A-Y. 2 out, nobody on. We're in the Tiger third. Detroit up by a couple of runs. Bannister ready. Here's the pitch to Garbe. Swung on and bounced foul into the Sox dugout. And the count still remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. You say Blyleven's going to pitch here Wednesday night. I wonder who's going to pitch the first game Tuesday night.
Neil Heaton, I believe.
Heaton, a very tough young left-hander. We saw him, well, he started the year in the bullpen last year, then was put into the rotation. That'll be a dandy. There's a swing and a little inside-out pop-up. Drifting foul into the third tier of the lower deck boxes beyond the Tiger first base dugout as Garbe got jammed right on the handle that time and fouled it off. The count holds at 1-2.
And Tuesday night it'll be Hoyt against Heaton, then Wednesday night Dotson against Blyleven.
Cleveland's biggest problem, they got talent. They get so depressed playing at home by the 1st of June, they keep waiting for those road trips.
And they really don't have any power outside of Thornton and a little power for Jacoby.
Inside fastball straightens Garbe up at the plate. 2-2 the count. Although they still are hopeful that former Cub rookie and briefly with the White Sox, Pat Tabler, will provide some punch. He certainly hurt the White Sox a couple of times last year after they sent him over to Cleveland for Jerry Dubzinski.
And he went 4 for 4 opening day against Texas.
2-2 pitch, and Garbe whacks it into right field, but Baines is right there, and he's got it for the out. So 3 outfield putouts, 2 for Kittle, 1 to Baines, and a 1-2-3 inning for Bannister. Midway through the third here at Comiskey Park, the Tigers lead it 2-0.
Looking for a lender you can lean on?
When money is the answer.
At General Finance,
We'll come through. Yes, when money is the answer. We answer with money for you.
the way some institutions around town are talking, you'd think they just reinvented the consumer loan. Wearing big smiles, running big ads, dusting off the old application forms, doing their best to make you forget how they dodged your calls and forgot your name a few months back when, as they put it, money was tight. Well, at General Finance Corporation, we've never been tight with our money. Consumer loans aren't a seasonal, sometimes sideline with us. They're our specialty, our whole reason for opening the doors each day. So, for money for most any worthwhile purpose, come to the full-time consumer loan professionals at GFC. We really know our business, and we really want yours.
When money is the answer, we'll come through.
We answer with money at General Finance. 60 offices throughout Chicagoland. Check the white pages for the GFC branch nearest you.
WMAQ. This is the most sophisticated piece of machinery ever built. It'll make me $1 million.
This is the Bow Wow-O-Matic washing machine. It will conserve energy because it is run not on electricity but on dog power. It'll make me $1 million.
Spot, come back!
A lot of people are trying to make $1 million, but somebody really is going to make $1 million in the Illinois State Lottery's Bankroll Instant game, or up to $100,000 instantly. And that somebody just might be you.
Me?
In the bottom of the third inning, the White Sox will send up the bottom third of their order. Vance Law, Scott Fletcher, and Julio Cruz hoping to get something started against the fireballing right-hander Jack Morris, who has a 2-run lead to work with, thanks to former White Sox outfielder Chet Lemon, who pumped a Floyd Bannister fastball into about the 8th row of the lower deck and left with a man on in the second inning to account for both runs in the game. The Tigers' 4th home run this year. They hit 3 in the Metrodome, and the first home run hit at Comiskey this season. Vance Law 0 for 2 yesterday, 0 for 6 on the year. He got off to that horrendous start last year, was struggling at the 200 level through much of the first half of the season, as were several White Sox players. He did improve it up to 243 by season's end, but White Sox and Vance himself expect a much better average than that in 84. Right-handed hitter, they play him straight up in the outfield and also in the infield. Straightaway stance for Vance. The windup by Morris. Here's the pitch and a fastball strike call just under the letters. Both Morris' victory over the Tigers last year came at the expense of veteran left-hander Jerry Kuzman, now pitching for the Phillies. There's a swing and a miss as Morris changed up on that pitch and had Vance way out in front and off stride, and he's got him in the hole. 2 strikes.
Well, that's the best changeup he's thrown today. He's been awesome thus far with the first 6 hitters.
Oh, he looks mighty tough right now. He's mixing them up just enough to keep that fastball humming. 2 strikes the count on Vance Law. Morris has the sign. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball down the middle, popped up right field side. Jogging in as Gibson got his sunglasses down, and he makes the catch near the line. 1 gone.
It was Sparky Anderson's plan to go with Morris all the way on Tuesday and Saturday. He just indicated on the pregame show that we got bad information. And the reason he's going with Rozema, he's going to let him start more this year, was that they had a workout the other day, and he was just throwing better than Berenguer at the time. So it figured, at least from the information we had, as the Tigers broke camp, that Rozema was going to be their long inning man. Now it might figure out to be Glenn Abbott. But you and I both kind of lit up when we realized at the time that we would miss both Morris and Petrie this trip. Not so. There's a bouncer to short, or rather to third, off the bat of Scott Fletcher. A 2-hopper to Brookins, who throws him out. 2 gone. Fletcher going after the first pitch. He is hitless now in 8 at-bats this year. So far, it's been 8 up and 8 down, and here's Julio. 1 for 2 yesterday, 2 for 5 on the year, and a couple of stolen bases. The old saying on that Tiger rotation, when we saw it, too good to be true, and it wasn't true.
Yeah, we had originally had Berenguer penciled in for today and Glenn Abbott, veteran right-hander, for tomorrow, based on what we were given. Julio batting left-handed against the right-hander Morris. 2 out, nobody on. First pitch is slap foul upstairs, in and out of a luxury box just under the rooftop on the third base side. The count is 0-1. Hit the back wall up there and bounce back into the lower deck.
I'll tell you, Harry McIntyre can do it.
The dude is something.
Now we get rid of the cigars, we'll be all right.
No, now we got 2 pages to carry instead of 1. I think I'll ask for the original back. What a guy. Swung on and missed as Morris tied up Cruz with a breaking ball down and in right at the hands. 2 strikes. Sign is given. Here's the pitch on the way, and Julio strikes out swinging on that forkball of that sinker down into the dirt. He's the second White Sox player to chase a breaking ball into the dirt, and he's still at home plate claiming that he foul-tipped the ball. At any rate, the inning is over. 9 up and 9 down for Jack Morris in 3 innings against the Sox, and he has notched 4 strikeouts along the way. The Tigers lead it after 3, 2-0.
Talk to Sox owner Eddie Einhorn tomorrow morning at 10 here on WMAQ.
Nervous about your big date, Dave?
Yeah. She said she'd meet me here at the Fin and Blubber.
How do I look? Your tie's in the tartar sauce.
Oh. Anyway, I reserved a booth.
Uh-huh.
And I've got 2 Bud Lights being chilled to 48 degrees.
Bud Light? Excellent taste.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get filled up either in case...
in case what?
Well, in case she shows up.
Oh.
I found out she loves the Fin and Blubber shrimp.
Good. So now when the waitress comes up, what are you going to say?
She gets the shrimp.
No. Be more sure of yourself.
She gets the shrimp, medium rare.
Don't forget the drinks.
Oh, right. Waitress, don't forget the drinks.
Be more thorough.
2 light beers?
Impress her?
2 chilled Bud Lights.
Good.
And no straws.
Just remember the Bud Light.
It's easy to get the best. Just say Bud Light, because the best has a taste all its own.
David, I never knew you were such a take charge kind of guy.
Oh, me? Oh, sure. Oh, waitress.
Ready to order?
Cheese shrimp. No, 2 Bite Luds. I mean, Blight Ludes. Oh, I mean, Lude Blights.
Well, it's easy for some. Bud Light.
That's it. 2 of those.
Satisfying, but never filling. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Danny, the baseball game is last.
And here's the pitch on the way, and Julio strikes out swinging on that fourth ball, and that sinker down into the dirt. He's the second White Sox player to chase a breaking ball into the dirt, and he's still at home plate claiming that he foul-tipped the ball. At any rate, the inning is over. 9 up and 9 down for Jack Morris in 3 innings against the Sox, and he has notched 4 strikeouts along the way. The Tigers lead it after 3, 2-0.
Talk to Sox owner Eddie Einhorn tomorrow morning at 10 here on WMAQ.
Nervous about your big date, Dave?
Yeah. She said she'd meet me here at the Fin and Blubber. How do I look?
Your tie's in the tartar sauce.
Oh. Anyway, I reserved a booth.
Uh-huh.
And I've got 2 Bud Lights being chilled to 48 degrees.
Bud Light? Excellent taste.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get filled up either in case...
In case what?
Well, in case she shows up.
Oh.
I found out she loves the Fin and Blubber shrimp.
Good. So now when the waitress comes up, what are you going to say?
She gets the shrimp.
No. Be more sure of yourself.
She gets the shrimp, medium rare.
Don't forget the drink.
Oh, right. Waitress, don't forget the drinks.
Be more thorough.
2 light beers?
Impress her?
2 chilled Bud Lights.
Good.
And no straws.
Just remember the Bud Light.
It's easy to get the best. Just say Bud Light, because the best has a taste all its own.
David, I never knew you were such a take charge kind of guy.
Oh, me? Oh, sure. Oh, waitress.
Ready to order?
Cheese shrimp. No, 2 Bite Luds. I mean, Blight Ludes. Oh, I mean, Lude Blights.
Well, it's easy for some. Bud Light.
That's it. 2 of those.
Satisfying, but never filling. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Danny, the baseball game was last week. No one cares anymore. But I was safe. You were out. My dad says he got a picture of it. You'll see I was safe.
Catch baseball's great moments with Kodacolor VR 400 color print film. It can stop sports heroes in their tracks.
Okay, here's the picture. Were you safe? Look, let's be mature about this. It's not who wins or loses. It's how you play the game. You were out.
Kodak, because time goes by.
2-0. Chet Lemon's 2-run homer the difference here, and so far through 3 innings, the Sox have nary a base runner against right-hander Jack Morris. Bannister has finished his tune-up tosses, and we go to the middle 3 innings of the game, and hopefully to hold the Tigers in and get the Sox on the board. Here's Lauren Brown.
Hi, Joe, and Lance Parrish will lead it off. He walked leading off the 2nd inning and rode home on Chet Lemon's home run. Despite the fact he did not hit 300 a year ago, he had a great season. 27 home runs and 100 RBIs. If he hits 300 in addition to everything else he does, they'll have to elevate him up into a league higher than this one. Bannister in the windup with the first pitch, a called strike. Bannister has settled down now. He's retired 4 in a row. Gave up a leadoff single to begin the ball game. Got out of it on a double play, but the walk and home run hurt him in the 2nd inning, and he retired the side in order in the 3rd. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a shot off of Bannister. Over to Cruz, throws to first in time. Bannister shaking his left hand. And that'll go 1-4-3 for the out. That ball was well hit by Parrish. Well, let's hope it didn't hit that pitching hand, but apparently it didn't. Banny is all right. Herm Schneider, nobody came out of the Sox third base dugout, and that's the 3rd 1-4-3 play we've seen in 2 ball games here. Got him off the left shin. I thought it hit him in the leg, but he starts shaking his left hand, but it did not get him on the hand. So there is 1 out, and Larry Herndon the batter. Herndon flied out to right, his only time up. And the pitch, a good strike in the outside corner. And suddenly the plate's a bit wider. Herndon, a .302 hitter a year ago. 20 homers and 92 RBIs. Here's the pitch, another strike in the outside corner. Same spot. And Herndon now arguing with Durwood Merrill. Both clubs have been on Durwood. Well, Durwood seemed to be squeezing both pitchers a little bit in the first 2 innings. Now, all of a sudden, the plate, as I mentioned, is widened. Exactly right. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Fastball right down the pipe, and he struck him out. On a foul tip into the mid of catcher Carlton Fisk, and that's the 3rd strikeout for Bannister. Well, there was 2 perfect pitches. At least the umpire thought so on the outside part of the plate, and he just simply blew Herndon away. So Rod Allen, the batter. Struck out his only time up. Bannister now has retired 6 straight. Trying to make it 7 here and retire the side in order for the 2nd straight inning. Tall left-hander delivers a fastball that's low. 1 ball, no strikes.
You know, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention, really, again, the fine performance Richard Dotson had yesterday despite a shaky first inning. He really tightened up the cinches and pitched well yesterday.
Here's the pitch, low ball. Well, Dave Bergman hit it on the nose on the postgame show, said that he had a fastball and a changeup in the first inning, and that was it. But he had his full repertoire the rest of the way.
Started getting that curveball over. He was a different pitcher.
Left-hander ready. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swinging a foul back to the screen. Well, Mike Flanagan has defeated the Minnesota Twins 14 straight times. But Timmy Teufel hit a 2-run homer in the first. The Twins came back with 5 more in the second. And they lead Baltimore 7-0 at the end of 3.
Golly, Baltimore's off to another Earl Weaver start.
Here's the 2-1 pitch way outside a ball. Probably had the best start in their history last year. And then they slowed down a little midway through the season, then came on strong.
They were notorious for getting off about 1-8 under Earl the last several years.
Here's the pitch. Swinging a tapper to the left side. Fletcher charges, edge of the grass, and he throws him out. Nice play by Paciorek, keeping his foot on the bag as that throw was on the home plate side of first. So it's 3 up and 3 down as Rod Allen grounds out to short. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. Detroit 2, the White Sox nothing.
For all the commitments you made.
For parents, commitment is preparing a child for the moment of breaking away. For a child, commitment is caring for parents no longer able to care for themselves. Commitment makes our family, home, and business what we want them to be. And that's why commitments worth keeping are worth thoughtful protection. The CNA insurance companies and the agents who represent us understand this. We provide all lines of insurance to help those who make commitments keep them.
For all the commitments you make. CNA.
Gasoline economy. Today, every motorist is thinking about it. That's why Texaco believes now's a good time for you to think about a motor oil that's been fuel economy tested. Havoline Supreme is the motor oil with a special friction fighter that's been proven in fuel economy test. And what's more, you still get Haviline's famous State Trooper tested engine protection, too. That's Havoline Supreme. Now, buy 5 quarts of any grade Havoline motor oil and get a $1.50 rebate check from Texaco. Details at participating Texaco retailers and stores.
Couple of reminders. The champion White Sox swing into spring on Sports Vision, the biggest bargain in Chicago sports. For more information, call your local cable operator today. And don't forget, this coming Wednesday, the 11th of April with Cleveland in town, it's H&R Block Tax Savers Day. All you fans who present your H&R Block tax receipt at the box office will receive 1 free box seat or a reserved ticket to the Sox-Cleveland game here Wednesday night. That wraps up the brief 5-game homestand, the first homestand of the year. Sox will then play 3 in New York, 2 in Milwaukee, and 3 in Detroit before they return back to Comiskey Park.
Well, your old Purdue buddy just walked in the booth, Paul Jensen. Paul, former of the sports department at Purdue, then at Arizona State, now the head of media relations for the White Sox.
He's followed me around.
We got Jensen, you, McClure. Who else from Purdue around here?
Well, actually, I didn't go to school there, but I worked there.
You worked
grew
there.
Up 40 miles from there. But Jensen also followed me out to the Phoenix area for a couple of years before he got smart and came back to the Midwest to suffer like the rest of us in this 30-degree weather.
All right, the White Sox, Rudy Law leads it off, trying to get something started, and he made an attempt to bunt a ball and took it outside for a ball.
Hey, happy birthday to Christine O'Reilly, the new promotions gal for the Sox. I just had it on the board. What is she, 14 today?
Looks it.
She's a dandy.
Illinois State grad. Here's the pitch, and it's up high a ball.
Oh, to be that young again.
2 balls, no strikes. Law, Fisk, and Baines, top third of the order. Now Derwood Merrow goes out to the mound, and he indicates that Morris went to his mouth, so it'll be ball 3, and Sparky Anderson comes out to argue about it. Sparky saying he was straddling the rubber and not on it.
It doesn't make any difference. He's got to be clear off the dirt portion of the mound, or it's an automatic call. Well, Sparky points his fingers right into the nose of Derwood Merrill, makes his quick point, and heads back to the dugout.
And before this next pitch, let's pause for station identification on the Chicago White Sox radio network.
More winning sweepstakes numbers after the games. If you're listening for your winning number and win the prize of your dreams from 67 WMAQ Chicago. It's 201.
So the 3-0 pitch to Law and a fastball for a strike. There's no question about it. He went to his mouth while on the rubber. Just showed the replay. Here's the 3-1 delivery and another fastball for a strike. That got Morris hot.
Yeah.
He's thrown two right down the pipe.
They called one of those against Wilcox yesterday as well.
Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch, and it's low, a ball. He walked it. So the White Sox get their first base runner. Well, you know, the pitcher can go to his mouth on the rubber if the consent is given by the umpires before the ball game, and they do that on occasion. But it's really got to be extremely bad weather for them to allow it.
Yeah, the rule is you can go to your mouth if you're outside the cutout portion, the dirt portion around the mound. But you'd better wipe your hands somewhere.
Now Alan Trammell coming in to settle Morris down. Didn't look like he needed any settling down, and after getting that third ball count, because of going to his mouth, he threw two fastballs right down the pipe, and then he missed on the third offering, and the White Sox have their first base runner.
Well, Rudy was begging. Once he got the break 3-0, he was going to take two pitches, and that fourth pitch was a hummer right over the heart of the plate and just below the strike zone.
Carlton Fisk, a strikeout victim, his only time up this afternoon. Carlton 2 for 7 in the young season. Toss over to first. Diving back in safely is Rudy Law.
Morris got a pretty good move for a right-hander, too.
He does. You know, he won his 20th game of the year last year, or his 18th game of the year on September the 1st. Won only 2 of his last 7 starts. Got beat 3 times by 1 run. Here's the pitch, a pitch out. It appeared to be the way Parrish jumped out of the box, but the throw was over the plate, but about a foot over Fisk's head.
Pudge squared around the bunt. Sox are going to try to scratch out a run to get within one.
And Brookins isn't looking for him to bunt.
Yep.
Brookins is playing way back at third and off the line quite a bit.
Pudge may be tempted on this next pitch if he doesn't come in. I think he's trying to deke him. He looked like he was about ready to break in.
Rudy Law with a short lead off of first. Garbe holding him on. There he goes. Here's the pitch. Low, a ball, a throw to second, safe.
Number 1 for Rudy, who last year finished second only to Ricky Henderson of Oakland with 77 steals, a club record.
So the White Sox now are 3-0 in stolen bases. Julio Cruz has stolen 2 without being thrown out. And now Rudy Law. I like what Law does. He gets in that bag and comes straight up right after he gets there, and that will often give an umpire a tendency that he made it in. There was no question that he made it in now.
Well, not only that, he can take the extra base. That throw gets 10 feet beyond the bag.
That's right.
Because he's ready to run again.
2 balls, no strikes to Fisk. Here's the pitch, up high, a ball, 3-0. I think Morris has let that going to his mouth bother him quite a bit now, because he's really overthrowing,
exactly.
even on the fastballs that he got over the plate to Rudy Law.
Yeah, he's really got it turned up now.
He has not thrown a breaking ball since then. Here's the pitch, another fastball for a strike. On the inside corner, Fisk thought he had a free pass, but Durwood Merrill rang him up.
Tell you what, they better nail that plate down. Seems to be jumping around on Durwood a bit.
Toss over to first, their second rather, and Rudy Law got back. In fact, Whitaker's about 10 feet off the bag.
Yeah, try right center.
Really? But he threw it right at him. Big hole on the right side of the infield. Whitaker no more than 10, 12 feet off the bag at second on the right side of the infield. The 3-1 pitch for Morris. Called strike in the inside corner with a fastball. And the count filled up now. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Pudge seemed to squawk then, but that looked like a pretty good pitch.
A runner at second, nobody out. The White Sox trying to get on the board here as they trail 2-0. Morris with the glove up, glances to second. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul back up the screen.
The object here, Tony is hoping, of course, if Pudge can't find a hole, is to get him to hit it to the right side. That'll advance Rudy to third, where a fly ball or maybe even a ground ball could score the run. So,
well, we got the Mack truck outfit right behind the ballpark. They could put about 3 Mack truck trailers through that hole on the right side of the infield.
Of course, you know Morris is aware of that. He's going to try to pitch him inside and make him pull it.
Yeah, that's what he's done on the last 2 deliveries. The 3-2 count on Fisk. Morris up with the glove at the waist. Here's the pitch. Outside a ball, he walked it. So Jack Morris has walked the first 2 men here in the 4th inning. And now you got the meat of the order. Baines, Luzinski, and Kittle to face the right-hander. Parrish out on the mound to have a word with Morris.
Well, you got to walk before you can run. And we got 2 of them.
And you got to crawl before you can walk, and Morris was making the White Sox crawl in those first 3 innings. He had struck out 4 men and retired the first 9 men in a row before the back-to-back walks here.
Harold chased the bad pitch his last time up.
Baines struck out his last time up. Here's the pitch, looks to bunt, takes it outside a ball. Morris working with 3 days rest, pitched 7 innings, allowing only 1 run and striking out 8 at Minnesota on Tuesday.
Yeah, you would have thought Morris might have been slated to pitch tomorrow instead of today.
Right-hander out of the stretch. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And a good cut on the breaking ball.
Morris took just a little bit off of that and had Harold a bit out in front. Harold still has to fight a tendency to be a little bit over-anxious with men on base.
Fans starting to chant Harold, Harold. 2 on, nobody out. A 1-1 count on the left-handed hitting right fielder. Morris out of the stretch. Here's the pitch. Squares to bunt. It's up high a ball. Snap throw to second. And Rudy Law back in time. When you measure strengths,
go ahead.
When you measure strengths of a ball club, you look up the middle. Catching, second, short, and center field. And the Tigers are strong at all positions.
They're solid. Ever since that going to the mouth call against Morris, his fastball has been up. His breaking ball has been his effective pitch.
And Brookins just passed the defensive scheme of things on to his other Tigers. He's up at the edge of the grass at third. Here's the pitch. Up high, ball 3. And a bad one here would load him up.
He can't find the plate with his heater now. The next 2 pitches after they called the ball on him against Rudy Law were right down the pipe. And since then, he's only thrown 1 fastball for a strike and 3 batters.
Greg Luzinski in the on-deck circle. Outfield playing Baines straight away. They're pulled over to the right side of the infield. Brookins now back in a 3-1 count. Not looking for a bunt here. Here's the pitch. Called strike. Caught the outside corner. Got him with a fastball.
Yep.
So the count filled up 3-2.
3rd straight full count.
Right-hander out of the stretch. Here's the pitch. Inside a ball, he walked it. And the bases are full of White Sox. Nobody out.
Still looking for our first hit. That time he missed with a curve.
Well, a base hit here could score at least 1, possibly a pair. So Morris, who had been unhittable the first 3 innings, has walked the first 3 men here in the 4th inning. Morris did not walk a soul in Minnesota in 7 innings. Now Greg Luzinski, the batter, 0 for 3, drove in a run with a sacrifice fly yesterday. Flied out to center field his only time up today. Morris out of a full windup and a fastball for a strike in the inside part of the plate.
Maybe that's what he needed, Lauren, his windup.
He was having problems out of the stretch, no question about it. Right-hander in the windup. Here's the pitch to Luzinski, and a tapper back to the mound. They go to the plate for 1. Relay to first, a double play.
Greg tried to check his swing, and it was one of those, excuse me, little soft 1-hopper, and it was the easiest double play you could ever imagine. Luzinski was out by 30 feet on the relay.
So the play goes 1, 2, 3 for the double play. Fisk moves up to third, Baines to second, and Roger Craig, the pitching coach of the Detroit Tigers, goes to the mound. And the batter will be Ron Kittle. Well, we mentioned in spring training, Roger Craig was getting ready to hang it up, the former Dodger and former Cardinal. But he felt the Tigers had such a great shot to win the Eastern title this year that he wanted to hang in there another year.
Was it not Roger Craig who lost 18 consecutive games with the Mets?
That's right.
I can remember the day he won. It was against the Cubs, and a guy who was later destined to have a couple of great years on the north side of Chicago, Jim Hickman, beat the Cubs with a grand slam.
Right-hander in the windup with a pitch to Kittle. Inside in the corner, a strike with a fastball. Kittle popped up to second his only time up. Big left fielder looking for his first hit of the year, and if he can get it here, it'll tie the ball game up. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Strike two. So Morris a strike away from getting out of a bases loaded, no out situation. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Nice block by Parrish. The runners cannot advance in the count of ball and 2 strikes.
Wouldn't that have been ironic if he throws a wild pitch to get a run home and then strikes out Kittle? The entire jam was of his own making.
He walked the first 3 men and got out of a big jam by getting a comebacker to the mound off the bat of Lazinski for a double play. Now with runners at second and third, a 1-2 count on Ron Kittle. Kittle 0 for 4 in the series. 0 for 7 for the year. Time to break out of that slump right here. Right-hander ready. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Low in the dirt again. Evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Tell you, that big guy behind the plate sometimes doesn't get enough credit, but Parrish has blocked 2 bad breaking balls in a row into the dirt.
Parrish is from that one-handed catching school, as so many catchers are. Doug Bear warming up in the bullpen for the Tigers. Here's the pitch, swinging a foul. Taps it back to the box seat railing.
Again, you have to question why Sparky Anderson would use his ace with 3 days rest after pitching 7 innings on opening day, bringing him back here on a cold Saturday in Chicago. Obviously knows or has an idea of why.
That was his game plan before the season started. Maybe he feels he's more effective with 3 days rest opposed to 4. Right-hander ready. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Held up just in time. And the appeal down to first. And Timmy McClellan says he did not go around. Sparky Anderson hot down in the Tiger dugout.
I don't blame him.
There was a breaking ball outside that Kittle held up on. And the count filled up now. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
The only thing that saved him is he didn't really go after, but he kind of draped the bat out across the strike zone.
Morris gets his sign from Parrish, goes in the windup. The 3-2 pitch. Swinging a foul up on the roof to the right side, and they'll do it again.
That's the best cut Kittle has had in this at bat. Kind of shakes that left hand. Boy, I'll tell you, if you don't meet a ball solidly today, both hands are going to go numb on you.
Outfield playing Kittle straight away and deep. Lemon actually a couple of steps into left center field. Morris ready. The 3-2 pitch. Swinging a tapper foul, and he laid off that ball. He might have had a walk. Down around the knees. Oh, we will do it again. Morris had Kittle in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes. Kittle has hung in there now for a full count delivery for the 3rd time. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Morris gets out of a big jam after walking the bases loaded. Throws a double play ball and then strikes out Kittle. In the inning, no runs, no hits. 2 men stranded in scoring position. So we go to the 5th inning here at Comiskey Park. Detroit 2, the White Sox nothing.
The White Sox WMAQ.
The hottest front-wheel drive value in town is causing a spring thaw at your Chicagoland Chevy dealers. Chevy Cavalier at $62.14 for starters. Who wouldn't warm up to America's best-selling Chevy? Sales of Cavaliers are up 135% over last last year, according to R.L. Polk figures. And dollar for dollar, it's also an incredible performance value. The great-looking Chevy Cavalier. 2 doors, 4 doors, hatchbacks, wagons, as low as $62.14. Excludes tax, title, and destination charges. Get in on the spring thaw, where red-hot deals on Cavalier are stopping the competition cold. At any one of your 62 Chicagoland Chevy Value dealers. The guys with the blue bow tie.
Stop by Ron Postma Chevrolet Chicago, Raymond Chevrolet in Olds Antioch, Joe Reagan Chevrolet Barrington, and Rickett Chevrolet Sales in Fox Lake.
Now you can add security and beauty to your home's entryway and save money at the same time. Hi, Pat Summerall to say that's because True Value hardware stores are offering 2 matching quick-set locks priced from just $14.44 a set. The Door Set 2 lock combination includes a Tylo design entry door lock plus a matching deadlock with a 1-inch throw. Both are easy to install and use the same key for added convenience. You'll find these and other dependable quick-set locks at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Well, the White Sox are still waiting to set off their scoreboard this year. They haven't homered yet in their own ballpark. But home run or not, the first fireworks display of the year is coming up on Friday night, April 27th, when the Red Sox are in town. Sponsored by Budweiser, you can order your tickets by calling Ticketmaster at 559-1212. You can use your charge card or stop by Comiskey Park. That's Budweiser Fireworks Night, the very first one of the year on Friday, April 27th, the White Sox and the Bull Sox.
Well, the guy that's provided the damage against the White Sox and given the Tigers a 2-run lead, Chet Lemon, will lead it off. Lemon hit a 3-2 pitch right down the pipe into the left field seats for a 2-run homer in the second inning. And the Tigers lead it here by a score of 2-0. Jack Morris, through 4 innings, has no-hit the White Sox. Got out of a big jam in that 4th inning.
It'd be interesting to know what the pitch count was for Morris in the last inning. Had to be around 25 or so.
Really, at least. Well, let's see. Walked Law, Fisk, and Baines on 3-2 pitches. Had a 3-2 pitch on Kittle.
After Kittle fouled off a couple.
So that's 24 already. Luzinski had 2. That's 26, plus the foul balls. So could well have thrown 30 pitches in that last inning. So Chet Lemon with the 2-run homer in the second inning leads it off here in the 5th for the Tigers. He'll be followed by Gibson and Brookins, the bottom third of the order. Here's the pitch, and it's a fastball. Missing, ball 1. Lemon moved up on the plate as if to bunt. Talking Joe yesterday about standing over the plate. He probably is over the plate more than any right-handed hitter in the league.
Yeah, his hands are right on the inside part of the plate, right over the top of the plate.
Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch, and it's inside and low, 2-0. You think he's close on the plate. Minnie Minoso, a right-hander, was practically had his feet on the plate.
And Frank Robinson.
Minnie, along with Ron Hunt, hold the record for players hit in the season. Here's a smash foul. Almost hit Alex Grammas in the box at third.
Nice move.
In fact, Ron Hunt played with the Cardinals, the Mets, a couple of other clubs. I think holds the major league record by being hit the most during a career.
He planned to get hit. He crowded the plate. He was about a 240 hitter. He wore a flak jacket inside an oversized blouse. A lot of the times he got hit were hit in the uniform.
That's right. Minnie didn't do that. Here's the 2-1 pitch, swinging his shot to left. Going to be in there for extra bases. Kittle over to cut it off. He's got it and drops the ball, picks it up in the corner, and Lemon is on with a double. Really a moot point that he dropped it because of the fact after he picked it up on the hop, because Lemon was going to get a double no matter what.
Chester's off to a great start. 2 hits today, 6 for 14, 5 of them for extra bases.
Well, Lemon with a triple yesterday, a home run and a double here this afternoon.
He had a strong close to a very disastrous start last year. He was really struggling, and then he was on the injured list for a while in mid-season. Then he came on strong late in August and September.
Kirk Gibson, the batter, walked his only time up. Vance Law playing in on the grass at third. The outfield playing him to hit the other way. They don't expect the big guy to pull. Here's the pitch, and it's a strike at the knees. Well, let's see. Gibson yesterday popped to short, and the only ball that he pulled was when he grounded to first. Pachork about 3 feet off the edge of the grass at first, off the line about 12 feet. Bannister out of the stretch. The left-hander delivers, and it's a strike. Took something off that pitch. Gibson. watched it cross the plate. He's in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes. A runner at second, nobody out here in the 5th. Tigers lead 2-0. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a foul out of play going to the upper deck. The Tigers off to their best start since 1966. They won 5 in a row that year, and they have won 3 straight here in '84 and lead in this ball game.
Chet Lemon was hit 20 times by a pitched ball last year to lead the league.
Left-hander ready. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Low and away a ball and a breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
We were talking about that unusual statistic, and I think Chet has either led the league or certainly in the top 2 or 3 practically every year since he's been up.
Bannister ready out of the stretch. Here's the 2-strike 1-2 pitch, and it's fouled down the left side. It'll carry on into the box seats down the left side. Hits the catwalk behind the golden boxes, and the count remains 1-2.
I tell you, Sparky may have to reevaluate his statement where he's going to go sink or swim with Gibson in right field every day, because Gibson is really falling away against the left-handed pitchers. And
well, he reiterated that today on the pregame show. A ball and 2 strikes. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Swinging a shot. Past Paciorek on 1 hop. Lemon will score. Baines cutting it off. There goes Gibson to second. He's in there safely with a stand-up double. Boy, he pulled a rocket. That hit just to the left of Paciorek. And the Tigers lead 3-0.
Squires might have made the play, but that ball was just creamed.
So Gibson drives in his 4th run of the season. That is only his 2nd hit, both extra bases. A home run and now a double. And the number 9 hitter in Sparky Anderson's order, Tom Brookins, the batter, forced a man out to end the 2nd inning. Left-hander ready, the bunt right out in front of the plate. Throws to first in time, and Gibson goes to 3rd. Thought for a moment that ball hit Brookins, but it did not. And the sacrifice goes 2-3. Well, Bannister had retired 7 in a row before these back-to-back doubles, and now the sacrifice here in the 5th inning. That'll bring up Lou Whitaker, who is singled and flied out to left. White Sox will bring their infield in, and a very pronounced shift in the outfield. Kittle playing a shallow left, Rudy Law a shallow left center, and Baines in straightaway right but shallow. A lot of room up the middle and in the gap in right center. And Tom Brennan, a right-hander, warming up in the White Sox bullpen. Here's the pitch. Swinging a grounder to Cruz. He's got it. Comes to the plate in time. No! Fisk was late with the tag. And he is in there safely.
Throw was a bit high. And Gibson, with that great speed, got a tremendous break from 3rd. That's the only way that the play was made. Gibson, with a great straightaway speed, got a good jump and just simply got under the tag.
So it'll be a fielder's choice for Whitaker and an RBI.
That ball was hit right at Cruz, who was pulled in on the edge of the grass, and they still couldn't get him.
Well, there is your answer as to why Kirk Gibson is in the Tiger lineup.
He's got great speed and power.
Well, Whitaker gets his first RBI of the year. The Tigers now lead by a score of 4-0. And the batter, Alan Trammell. He's hit into a 6-4-3 double play, and he's lined out to left. The speed made that play. There goes the runner. A pitch out. Throw by Fisk. In time, and he's out. Good call by Fisk as they snuffed out the steal sign by the Tigers.
That's the 3rd time in 4 tries that Whitaker's been gunned down.
Fletcher putting the tag on him. Say that again, Joe.
It's the 3rd time out of 4 tries that Whitaker has been thrown out attempting to steal. He was cut down twice in Minnesota.
And he's thrown out. It goes 2-6 as Fletcher put the tag on him. And the count, a ball and no strikes to Alan Trammell. The bases are clean and 2 out. Here's the pitch. And a fastball for a strike. Alan Trammell, a native of San Diego, California. Fine-looking athlete. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch, and it's low inside off the mid of Carlton Fisk. And the count, 2 balls and a strike. The third and final game of this 3-game set on Painter's Cap Day tomorrow features Tom Seaver's American League debut. And his mound opponent will be Dave Rosemont. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. And the breaking ball misses. 3 balls and a strike. Tigers with 2 in the second, 2 here in the fifth. And they lead it by a score of 4-0. Bannister ready. Here's the pitch. A fastball right down to Vance Law. He's got it. Third baseman throws across in time to retire the side. But the Tigers, with back-to-back leadoff doubles, push them both across. They come up with 2 runs in the inning on 2 hits and nobody left on. We move to the bottom of the fifth. Detroit 4, the White Sox nothing.
Looking for a lender you can lean on?
When money is the answer.
At General Finance,
We'll come through. Yes, when money is the answer.
we answer with money for you. The way some institutions around town are talking, you'd think they just reinvented the consumer loan. Wearing big smiles, running big ads, dusting off the old application forms, doing their best to make you forget how they dodged your calls and forgot your name a few months back when, as they put it, money was tight. Well, at General Finance Corporation, we've never been tight with our money. Consumer loans aren't a seasonal, sometimes sideline with us. They're our specialty, our whole reason for opening the doors each day. So, for money for most any worthwhile purpose, come to the full-time consumer loan professionals at GFC. We really know our business, and we really want yours.
When money is the answer, we'll come through.
We answer with money at General Finance. 60 offices throughout Chicagoland. Check the white pages for the GFC branch nearest you.
Talk to Tony La Russa tomorrow night at 8 on WMAQ.
You already know that Motorcraft exceeds the need with quality parts for all makes of cars and trucks. Well, right now, your Motorcraft Car Care Center has some special offers on these quality Motorcraft products. Save on Motorcraft oil filters, air filters, spark plugs, and oil. On sale now at these Motorcraft Car Care Centers.
Quality Motorcraft products are now on sale at your Greater Chicagoland Motorcraft Car Care Centers. Hurry to ProTech Auto Parts, 3053 West Irving Park, Chicago.
Lord Brown along with Joe McConnell at Comiskey Park. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Detroit leading the White Sox 4-0, and thus far Jack Morris has no hit the White Sox, though he walked the first 3 men in the fourth inning. But he got out of it in a double play and a strikeout. It'll be Tom Paciorek, Vance Law, and Scott Fletcher. 1, 2, and 3 hitters here in the fifth inning to try to get something started against the right-hander from St. Paul, Minnesota. Paciorek, 2 for 4, a pair of doubles and an RBI yesterday. Struck out his only time up facing Morris thus far today. Here's the pitch to him, a fastball that Paciorek fouls off. To the right side, 1 strike. Well, the White Sox AAA affiliate, the Denver Bears, in defense of their '83 title, opened the American Association season on a high note last night as they defeated Indianapolis. Now the Montreal Expos AAA club. Here's the pitch, high and inside, a ball backs him off the plate. They beat the Indianapolis Indians last night by a score of 11-5. Bert Robert's 3 1/3 innings, a shutout ball, got the victory. Here's the pitch, up high, a ball. He got the save. Bob Fallon got the win despite the fact he gave up 5 runs in 5 2/3 innings. 2 balls and a strike to Paciorek. Right-hander delivers. Here's the pitch, swinging a ground ball to Brookins at third. Throws across in time, and there's 1 out. Philadelphia at Cincinnati. And Matusak has hit a home run with nobody aboard in the 5th inning, and the Phillies lead the Reds, excuse me, by a score of 3-1. That game still going on in the top of the 5th. Jerry Koosman pitching for the Phillies, and Pastore going for Cincinnati. Vance Law, the batter, flied out to right his only time up today. Morris delivers. Here's the pitch. Fastball high. Ball 1. Out on the coast later this afternoon, the Cardinals at San Francisco and the Pirates at Los Angeles. Here's the pitch. Way outside. 2-0. Tonight, the Cubs are at San Diego. The Mets are at Houston, and Montreal is at Atlanta. Minnesota still leads Baltimore 7-0. That game in the bottom of the 6th. Right-hander in the windup. Here's the 2-0 delivery, and that's a strike. About knee-high, 2-1. Texas got a run off Fontenot in the first inning, and the Rangers lead the Yankees behind Danny Darwin 1-0 at the end of 1. Here's the pitch, swinging a foul. Back into the box seats, evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Boston will be at Oakland later this afternoon. While tonight, Cleveland will be at Kansas City. Toronto is at California. And Milwaukee will be at Seattle. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Vance Law. Jack Morris has been tough. Is not allowed to hit in 4 1/3 innings. Here's the pitch, a swing and a foul. Going into the upper deck and lands in one of the suites. Hit the back window and dropped in the front row of the seats, so nobody really had to make a tough effort after it. 2-2 the count to Vance Law. Morris has walked 3. He has struck out 5 today without giving up a hit. Here's the pitch outside, and the count goes full, 3-2. Tigers will be here tomorrow. Tom Seaver going against Dave Roseman, and the Cleveland Indians come to town. Our first night games, Tuesday and Wednesday nights. Here's the 3-2 pitch. High, a ball, he walked it. 4th walk given up by Morris. So he has walked 4 of the last 7 men that he has faced. In fact, Tuesday night, it'll be the first True Value baseball card night of the year. First 15,000 fans attending will receive baseball cards of 2 Cy Young Award winners, Lamar Hoyt and Tom Seaver. Scott Fletcher, the batter, grounded out to 3rd his only time up. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch and a fastball for a strike. Fletcher looking for his first hit of the season. Fletcher, Vance Law, and Ron Kittle all trying to break it. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch, and it's up high. 1-1. That's a tough thing when you start out the season going 0 for 6, 7, 10, 12, whatever. Everybody knows it. You do it in the middle of the year, and it's not as noticeable. Well, believe me, the players realize it. Morris working out of the stretch. Garbey playing behind the runner at first. Here's the pitch. Swinging a pop-up on the infield. Whitaker on the outfield grass, now in the skid part of the infield, and the second baseman takes it for the second out of the inning. So there are 2 out, and Julio Cruz will be the batter. Julio, a strikeout victim, his only time up. Julio, 2 for 6 this year. 1 for 4 as a left-handed hitter, and 1 for 2 as a right-handed hitter. Batting from the left side again against Jack Morris. Right-hander out of the stretch. Here's the pitch, a fastball cut down to Garbey at first. He's got it and makes the unassisted out. No runs, no hits. 1 man left on. We're at the end of 5 complete innings of play. Detroit, 4 runs on 4 hits. The White Sox, no runs on no hits.
Hey, Harry, the old bar looks pretty good since you fixed it up.
I spent a bundle improving the place.
You mean now there's heat?
Hey, take a look at the jukebox. All new records, right?
You're up to the 40s now.
Yeah, look at all the new rumbas. Tico, Taco.
Before you go on, Harry, can I have a light beer, please?
Made an improvement there, too. Now I serve Bud Light.
Hey, great. I like the taste of Bud Light.
And it won't fill you up, so you can rumba on my new dance floor.
It's kind of narrow, isn't it, Harry?
Well,
it looks familiar. Didn't this dance floor used to be the top of the old bowling machine?
Yeah, but I waxed it.
cute.
So, what do you like best?
Well, that's easy, the Bud Light.
Ah, I see we both got good taste.
Well, I gotta run, Harry.
Hey, wait a minute. I made all these improvements. You guys will stick around longer.
Well-
Everybody has a couple of Bud Lights and they leave. What else can I do?
Bar stools would help.
Oh, yeah?
Some tables and chairs.
You think so?
Ask for Bud Light, because the best has a taste all its own. Satisfying, but never filling.
And you might even consider putting in a restroom or two.
Why? Nobody sticks around long enough.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hi, Sox fans. This is Scott Fletcher with a great idea for getting free athletic equipment or computers for your school. All you have to do is save labels from White Sox Pizza. Each label is worth 5 cents toward the purchase of any athletic equipment or computer you select. Everyone loves great-tasting White Sox pizza, so saving labels is easy when everyone pitches in. For complete information, write to Mr. Z's, Cedarburg, Wisconsin, 53012, or call toll-free 1-800-558-5131.
Chicago White Sox baseball, brought to you in part by your 62 Chicagoland Chevy dealers, the guys with the blue bow tie, offering the best products, the best deals, and customer satisfaction to keep you coming back.
We go to the 6th inning. Floyd Bannister on the mound. Bannister has allowed 4 runs on 4 hits. He has walked a pair and he has struck out 3 today, but he is on the short end of a 4-0 score. Jack Morris has been a mite tougher, not allowing a hit thus far in the first 5 innings. Barbaro Garbe, in his first major league start, will lead it off here in the 6th inning. He is struck out and he is lined out to right. Garbe, the number 3 hitter in the lineup. And the pitch to him is a fastball at the knees for a strike. He'll be followed by Lance Parrish and Larry Herndon. Tigers are hot. They've had exceptional pitching in winning their first 3 games. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. And a check swing. And it misses a ball. Missed with a fastball. 1-1. The Tigers with an earned run average of 1.67 in their first 3 games. Sparky Anderson saying this is the best starting pitching staff he's ever had. Here's the pitch, and it's low inside a ball. 2 balls and a strike. He's had some great relievers. Raleigh Eastwick, Will McEnany, Clay Carroll when he was at Cincinnati. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Foul back. The box seat railing, and the count evens up 2-2. Sparky used to get the tag Captain Hook. He used that bullpen quite extensively. And he said, why not? I didn't have the starters to go all the way. 2-2 the count on the leadoff man, Garbe from Cuba. Here's the pitch. Outside, misses with a fastball. And the count filled up. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bannister has walked 2. The one that hurt him was the leadoff walk to Parrish in the 2nd. That rode home on Chet Lemon's 2-out, 2-run homer. Here's a pitch swinging a ground ball to 2nd. Julio Cruz has it. Throws to first in time. 1 out. It almost seems redundant to say Cruz has it and throws him out. Because when he gets it, figure they're out. 1 out, and Lance Parrish the batter. Parrish 0 for 1 today. He walked and scored back in the 2nd. Hit one off the shin of Bannister that rolled to 2nd where Cruz threw him out his last time up. Here's the pitch by Bannister, and it's low a ball. Parrish 2 for 10 here in the young season. Tigers really have not hit that well in their first 4 ball games. Here's the pitch, and it's a strike. Hitting only .242 coming into this game.
But look at the extra bases.
The extra base hits and the pitching. We're just talking about the pitching, Joe. Their sterling earned run average of 167. Here's the 1-1 pitch, fastball. Line to one hopper to Law. Throws across in time. Fine play by Vance Law at 3rd. Reaching over his body to his right on a sharply hit one hopper by Parrish.
Great backhanded stab. Looked like a highlight player, and he made it look easy.
2 up, 2 down here in the 6th inning. Bannister trying for the 3rd time today to retire the side in order. He faced the minimum 3 hitters in the 1st inning. retired the side in order in the third and the fourth. It's the second and fifth that have hurt Tigers, getting a pair of runs in both of those innings. Larry Herndon, the batter, 0 for 2 today. Goes after the first pitch and fouls it upstairs.
Well, the Yankees are at it. That's going to be a real squirrel cage this year, I have a feeling. Bobby Meacham, young shortstop in the starting lineup last night, booted a ball, cost him a game, and today he was sent down to Double-A.
Well, Meacham only had one at bat last night, I believe. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch, and it's in the dirt inside a ball. In that Yankee game last night, Meacham actually didn't even bat. Foley batted 3 times. They brought Meacham in late in the game after Smalley had pinched hit for Foley, and he made the air late in the game.
I guess you can't even call that a cup of coffee.
Really? Here's the 1-1 pitch, and a fastball at the knees for a strike.
Marv Gosher, our engineer, says a la Balboni. Well, they don't have Steve Balboni to kick around anymore. He's with Kansas City. They have a shuttle service between New York and Columbus.
They're talking down in the Bard's room earlier. We may see Bob Lemon back with the Yankees before it's over. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Inside, misses with a fastball, and the count even up 2-2.
I'm not trying to be judgmental of Yogi Berra at all, but with the past histrionics in New York and with the apparent lack of cohesive talent the Yankees have this year, I would be surprised if Yogi lasts through May.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, swinging a ground ball to second. Cruz has it in time at first, and the Tigers go down 1-2-3 here in the 6th inning. But as we go to the bottom of the 6th, the scoreboard says Detroit 4, the White Sox nothing.
And now it's time for another fantastic but forgotten baseball fact, brought to you by Jays. Do you remember baseball's first big stick? It was Charlie Pine Tar Farley. He was called the Big Stick because he couldn't stop eating Jay's crunchy pretzel sticks. Of course, Jay's other pretzels, Bavarian, Twists, Rings, and Rods, were also big hits with Farley. If you didn't remember that one, maybe you remember baseball's greatest stealer. It was Charlie Flash Farley. Every time Farley saw a teammate eating a bag of delicious Jay's caramel corn, he'd steal it by tapping them on the shoulder, grabbing the Jays, and running away, which, incidentally, is where the term hit and run originated. Stay tuned for more fantastic but forgotten baseball facts, brought to you by the snacks you can't stop eating, Jays.
Lots of motor oils talk protection and mileage. I want proof.
Here's proof. New York taxis drove over 250,000 punishing miles with no oil-related failures. That's Haviland Supreme 10W40 protection. And here's more proof. After 2 million miles of state trooper driving, no oil-related failures. That's Haviland Supreme protection. And here's even more proof. In fuel economy tests, it delivered improved mileage compared to a conventional 10W40 motor oil. Texaco Haviland Supreme.
They've got the proof.
Hey, all you Sox fans, let's join in on the fun this year. Let us take you out to the ball game on Sports Vision, Chicago's hottest cable channel. For more information, call your local cable operator today.
Now you just heard the voice of Joe McConnell, along with Lorne Brown. As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, the White Sox have yet to salve Jack Morris. He has walked 4, but he has not gotten himself into any trouble with the exception of the 4th inning when he walked the first 3 men, but got out of it in a double play and a strikeout. So now it'll be the top of the order here in the 6th inning to try to salve the crafty right-hander who is yet to give up a hit.
All of the writers have had to start their no-hitter stories, and they've got the pool up in the press box.
Rudy Law leads it off. Here's the pitch, and it's a fastball high, ball 1.
I think we're going to see a new Sox pitcher in the bottom of the 6th inning. Apparently, Tommy Brennan is done heating up and would make his first regular season appearance in the Sox uniform.
Right-hander in the windup. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and a fastball caught the inside corner for a strike. You know, you were talking about Yogi Berra, Joe, but, you know, look at his record. Won the pennant for the Yankees in 1964, losing to the Cardinals, and then did a great job with the Mets, who were only a couple of games over 500 in 73.
I wasn't questioning
Here's the
his
1-1 pitch, and he couldn't hold up, and it's strike 2. And they took Oakland to the 7th game of the World Series that year.
Yep.
You were just talking about the chaos.
I was talking about the apparent 2nd division ball club that they're going to have this year. And Steinbrenner's relentless energy.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3 with a fastball. 6th strikeout for Jack Morris.
Most of his strikeouts have come with that split-fingered fastball today, which acts a lot like a forkball, but that one he just pumped right down the middle.
1 out, and Carlton Fisk, the batter. Fisk has struck out and he has walked this afternoon.
Well, you look at that New York Yankee ball club, they got a lot of problems.
Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Swinging a pop-up behind home plate. Lance Parrish coming back, and he's not going to get it as it lands on the screen. Well, I picked him for 7th, and I've seen a couple of publications since, Joe, that have picked him for 6th place.
Well, I had him 1 notch higher than 6th. And I think that's realistically about as much as they can expect this year with a talent at hand. And, of course, the grand experiment. Of course, we've got one going on right here with Britt Burns in the bullpen, but to take the guy that probably is a number 2 pitcher behind Guidry, Righetti, and put him in the pen, that's going to be a real big experiment.
Here's the pitch, and it's way outside a ball. Well, the problem with that is enabling Righetti to get into a ball game. He's been able to get in only 1, and that was the 1 Yankee game that they did win. He got the save in that.
Yeah,
losing 3 out of 4 thus far.
And a big question mark is whether Phil Niekro is going to be effective or not. A lot hinges on that.
He got that victory, didn't he?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he did. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Inside a ball, 2-1. Well, that's a tough combination to look at Phil Niekro for 7 innings and then have Righetti come in for the next 2. A knuckleballer, and then you see the hard thrower. That was the combination, by the way, that did win the only Yankee game that they've won thus far.
Well, people seem to forget one guy, and that's George Frazier, who picked up the save for Cleveland the other night. He's not a bad pitcher, and they lost both Frazier and Gossage out of the bullpen.
2 balls and a strike to Fisk. Morris in the windup, the pitch, and he bunts to the left side, and it rolls foul. That ball got on the grass, and it looked like it might stay, but it
hit the corner of the grass and kicked dead left, Lauren, or he might have had himself a bunt single because Brookins was playing deep. But it hit right on the edge of the cutout portion of the grass and the dirt down the third base line and kicked dead left, and so Pudge will have to come back.
We could talk to Roger Bozert. Well, I'll tell you, in '59, those with that go-go White Sox club throughout the years,
everything was tilted towards the mound.
That's right. Taking advantage of the skills of one Louis Aparicio and Nelson Fox. 2-2 the count to Fisk. They say a good groundskeeper can win you 10-12 games at home a year. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Second time that he has struck out Carlton Fisk. 7 strikeouts for Morris. So now in 12 2/3 innings this year, he has struck out 15.
He's putting on some kind of show today. And this is for national consumption as well.
Harold Baines, the batter. Here's the pitch to Harold. Swing and a miss. Harold has struck out and he has walked today.
The White Sox look like they're swinging at pantomime pitches up there.
Morris had a great August a year ago. Won 6 and lost none. Here's the pitch. Tried to hold up, did he? He did. Pitch up a little high. 1 ball, 1 strike. A sun-kissed Saturday afternoon here in the south side of Chicago. Jack Morris has been in command, a no-hitter for 5 2/3 innings. Right-hander ready, the 1-1 pitch, and that's the strike of the letters. Harold Baines has a word with Gerwood Merrill about it. Count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Morris struck out a pair in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 2 here in the 6th. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swinging the tapper to the left side. Brookins charges, has it, throws, got him by a step and a half. And the White Sox go down in order for the 4th time today. So we are through 6 complete innings of play here at Comiskey Park. Detroit 4 and the White Sox nothing.
The hottest truck value in town is causing a spring thaw at your Chicagoland Chevy dealers. Your Chevy dealer has a great selection of C10s, S10s, Blazers, Suburbans, extended cabs, and 4x4s now in stock. Rugged, heavy.
Your heavy-duty vacuum cleaner may be perfect for that once-a-week house cleaning. But for smaller jobs, True Value Hardware stores recommend their April bargain of the month. Hi, Pat Summerall to say it's a True Value carpet sweeper by Bissell for just $9.99. This lightweight, compact sweeper will pick up almost anything from hard surfaces or carpeting and cleans right up to the walls. During April, the True Value carpet sweeper is just $9.99 while supplies last at participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers, where you'll find values in every department.
We go to the 7th inning with the Tigers leading by a score of 4-0. And local right-hander Tom Brennan, a White Sox fan as a youngster when he went to St. Sabina Grammar School, then on to Leo High School, makes his White Sox debut here as he comes on to face the Tigers in the 7th, replacing Floyd Bannister. Bannister went 6 innings, allowed 4 runs on 4 hits, including a homer, walked 2 and struck out 3. Now 4 of those innings, Bannister faced the minimum 3 hitters. Minimum 3 in the 1st, then retired the side in order in the 3rd, 4th, and 6th. But the Tigers got to him for a pair in the 2nd and the 5th innings, and thus lead it here 4-0. So Brennan will face Rod Allen, Chet Lemon, and Kirk Gibson as we go to the 7th inning. And stepping back in to tell you about it, here's Joe McConnell.
Thank you, Lord. Thomas Martin Brennan, 31-year-old right-hander, making his first regular season appearance in the Sox uniform. And like Carlton Fisk, he has a rather unusual number on his back, number 59. He'll face Rod Allen, who has struck out and bounced to short in 2 trips against the starting pitcher Floyd Bannister today. Brennan delivers an unorthodox curveball in there at the knees for a called strike. They call him the Gray Flamingo because of his gray hair and that pause as he hangs on one leg, a la bird-like, hesitates and then delivers. And Allen goes after the next pitch and fouls it back out of play. 2 strikes.
Well, Joe, as you've told me 1,000 times, gray hair is better than no hair.
That's true. That's very true.
We were talking about Brennan's background. He also pitched for one of the best college baseball coaches around, Gordy Gillespie, out at Lewis College in Joliet.
Oh, he's been bouncing around.
St. Francis, or Xavier, rather.
The 0-2 pitch on the way to Rod Allen. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Fisk drops the ball, applies the tag. Floyd Bannister threw an even 100 pitches in 6 full innings of work, and it wasn't a bad outing for Floyd. He gave up the 2-run homer on a 3-2 pitch to Chet Lemon. Back-to-back doubles, and that's been it. But that's been more than enough for Jack Morris, and here's Lemon, who has homered, knocking in 2, doubled and scored the last time up. So he's been the big gun for the Tigers today. Brennan retiring Allen on 3 pitches. Sox got him from Cleveland. He pitched at Charleston last year, was 9-5, and split 4 decisions with the Indians. Strike called as he snakes that sidearm slider over the outside edge, down and away from Chet Lemon. The count is 0-1.
That's tough for a hitter to get timing off of Brennan. And really doesn't throw that hard.
Got good stuff, though. Good movement on the ball. Slider low and away a ball. One of his 2 victories after he was called up to Cleveland last year was a shutout in 5 starts in his 11 appearances. The only complete game was a route-going shutout performance. He's 8-6 lifetime in the big leagues. Pitch down and in. Chet turned but did not go after the pitch, and the count is 2 balls and a strike. Brennan originally up with Cleveland in 81, was there in all of 82 when he was 4-2 with a couple of saves, and then started last year with Charleston again. 2-1 delivery. Chet swings and fouls one off the handle. Back onto the net behind home plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2 to count. 1 out, nobody on. We're in the Tigers' 7th. Brennan delivers. Strike 3 called. He got Chet rocking back away from the plate. Snapped that sidearm breaking ball right over the heart.
Well, we invite you youngsters 16 and under to join the Coca-Cola Sox Youth Fan Club. For just $5, you'll receive a membership card, fan club pennant, and a booster button, and 2 free tickets to a Sox home game. All the proceeds will benefit the Shy Sox kids. So if you want more information, call 924-1000 and ask for Youth Fan Club information.
Kurt Gibson hammered a double into the right field corner, knocking in a run. Later on came in to score his last time up, takes a pitch up and in for a ball. He also walked in the second against Bannister, so he's 1 for 1 today, 1 for 3 in the series. In on the edge of the grass at third is Vance Law. The pitch to Gibson, and that big wide breaking ball is low, ball 2. Tom Brennan has struck out the first 2 men he has faced. Rod Allen and Chet Lemon. 2-0 delivery to Gibson, outside, ball 3. Brookins on deck apparently will hit for himself. Tigers leading by 4 here in the 7th. Brennan delivers. Strike call as Gibson backed out of there. That pitch was right in there at the knees. It's 3-1. Well, the Twins are absolutely embarrassing the defending world champion Baltimore Orioles today. It's now 13-2 in the 7th.
Laudner and Faedo with back-to-back homers.
Ball 4 outside. Gibson draws a pass. His second walk today. He's been on base all 3 times. First walk off Brennan and the third given to the Tigers. Little Lenny Faedo, the shortstop, cranked one out. So 2 out and a walk to Gibson. Here's Tom Brookins, who's bounced into a force play and sacrificed. He is 0 for 1 today. Still looking for that first hit in the year. He's 0 for 6. Brennan working from the first base corner of the pitching rubber into the stretch, turns, quick throw to first, and Gibson just got back. He went back there standing up. He didn't go into the slide, and Pachorik wheeled around, put the tag on him, slapped leather just as he hit the bag.
Didn't see Brennan try to pick anybody off in spring training. He had a pretty good move.
A quick turnover there. Again, he goes and drives Gibson back to first base. Outfield shaded a bit around to the right for Brookins. Infield at normal depth straight away. Gibson kind of rocking back and forth. Sizable lead off first base. And Brennan delivers a fastball low and inside. Ball 1 to Brookins.
He doesn't use that leg out of the stretch, of course. But he still has a little bit of a hesitation as he delivers out of the stretch.
Brookins the batter, the number 9 Tiger hitter. With 2 out. Kurt Gibson at first base. Brennan has the sign. And another throw over there.
You know, ironically, Brennan from the south side, he was signed by the Indians. The first game that he ever pitched was in AAA for Oklahoma City, and he beat the White Sox AAA club that day, the Iowa Oaks. That was 11 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a long, hard climb for him. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled off to the left on the ground. The count is 1-1 to Brookins.
And he was signed by Al Unser, down in Decatur, scout, who happened to be the father of Del Unser, who had quite a big league career for himself, for the Phillies especially.
I think he just hung him up.
Well, you'd think a year or so ago, yeah.
But did he not come up with the old Washington Senators?
Well, he did.
One of the last original remaining Senators to play in the big leagues. Aurelio Rodriguez, another. There's a throw to first, and again, Gibson is back, disdaining the slide.
Del Unser did something historically in baseball. I tip of my tongue, but I can't recall what it was.
Give Danny Evans a call. He'll probably come up with the idea for you. Another throw to first. And it's a close play. This time Gibson half crawled back to the bag, and it looked like Pachorik might have gotten the ball on him in time.
Well, Pachorik thought he had him.
Brennan's got to move like a mongoose. You just don't expect it, and all of a sudden, bing, the ball's over there.
Well, he got him in the chest. Had he hit him on the hand, he would have got him. Good call by Tim McClellan.
1-1 the count.
In there.
Gibson again, a little shorter lead now. And Brennan again goes over there. Let's pause to allow our stations to identify themselves on the Chicago White Sox radio network.
For winning sweepstakes numbers after the game, so be listening for your winning number and win the prize of your dreams from 67 WMAQ Chicago. It's 3:01.
3 o'clock here in Chicago. Stretched by Brennan. Here's the pitch to Brookins. Swung on. Fly ball to left field. Kittle drifting back and over a bit now. He's got it to retire the side. No runs, no hits, a 2-out walk and a man left for the Tigers in the 7th. It's stretch time here at Comiskey Park, and the Sox need a rally. They trail it 4-0.
Talk to Sox owner Eddie Einhorn tomorrow morning at 10 here on WMAQ.
I think I'm going to be sick.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's my car that's ailing. It pulls to the right, the tires are getting bald, and those brakes, oh.
Sounds like you need a good dose of Central Tire Company.
Well, do they come in liquid or tablets?
Seriously, I got a great deal on a set of Michelin radials from Central Tire, and every 5,000 miles, they'll rotate them free.
You're kidding.
Plus, their prices on Michelin's are really low, too.
Wow.
Anytime you have your car serviced, Central Tire will do a free undercar safety inspection.
Central Tire and Michelin. Doc, I feel better already.
Now, just take 2 aspirin.
Right, and call Central Tire in the morning.
Right now, you'll find Central Tire's lowest price on quality Michelin X radials and the best price ever on the new Michelin XA4 all-season radio. You'll trust the XA4's remarkable handling and appreciate its exceptional traction on wet roads. Find out why the XA4 is the finest year-round radial tire Michelin has ever made. Remember Central Tire Company, Chicagoland's leading discount tire supermarket.
Central Tire. We're always around. Central Tire.
Webolt's, your quality and value store, is having an absolutely incredible anniversary sale. Items store-wide at 25% off, 30% off, 40% off. In fact, Webolt's is going wild with up to 50% off on everything you and your family might need. And sign up to win thousands of dollars in prizes, including an Epson QX10 complete home computer system. No purchase necessary, void where prohibited. You'll have to see this sale to believe it.
Come in and see what Webolt's has for you. Let's do it again, like we did last summer. Alley's run again with the White Sox on WMAQ.
Well, it's time to shake up and break out the bats. Morris with a no-hitter through 6 innings. He has fanned 7 and walked 4, 3 coming in succession in the 4th inning when he loaded the bases. And then Greg Lazinski on a check swing, nubbed one right back to the mound for an easy 1-2-3 double play, and Morris was unable to pitch his way out of any further damage by striking out Harold Baines, and that's been the only threat the White Sox have come up with today, and not of their own making. Here is the aforementioned Lazinski stepping in to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Bull swinging a lazy bat so far. Slide to center, and on that check swing on that split-fingered fastball, hit a little one-hopper, a weak one back to the mound, and that's been the big play of the game for Morris. Greg with just 1 hit and 9 at-bats now. Here's the first pitch, fastball high, ball 1. Outfield deep and around to the left, infield back on the rim of the grass. Morris rocks into the windup. Here's the pitch. Strike. Belt high inside corner, a slider, and it's 1-1. Lazinski to be followed by Kittle and Pachorik here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Sox not only looking for their first run, they're looking for a hit, any kind of a hit. Pitch on the way, and Lazinski takes low. There's that split-fingered fastball. Darts down and away, almost like a forkball, and it's 2-1. That's developed into Morris's out pitch, the off-speed breaking ball thrown a la Bruce Sutter. 2-1 delivery. Swung on, chop foul down and back. The count evens at 2-2. Seaver against Rozema in the rubber match, or the final game, I should say. It won't be the rubber match unless the Sox can rally and win this one. But in the final game of this 3-game weekend series tomorrow, weatherman permitting, Seaver and Rozema will match pitches here on Sunday afternoon. 2-2 pitch on the way to Lazinski. Up and in, ball 3. Full count. Sox haven't even hit a ball hard today. A full count to Greg Lazinski. Morris rocks into the windup. Here's the payoff pitch. Inside, he walked him, and that's 5 walks given up by Morris. And the leadoff man is on. That's been the extent of the offense today. Lazinski apparently is going to run for himself. Tony has made no move to put a pinch runner in. Here's Ron Kittle. Kittle has popped to second. I think I said Baines struck out. Baines has struck out today, but it was Kittle who struck out following Lazinski's double play ball to end the threat in the 4th inning. Ron still looking for the first hit of 84. First pitch swung on. Fly ball lifted high in the air to right field. Camping under it. Now jogging in as the wind shortens it up a bit as Gibson. He makes the catch in shallow right, and there's one gone. Kittle going after the first pitch. Tom Paciorek, who has struck out and bounced to third. 0 for 2 will stand in. Paciorek, the only member of the White Sox that has more than 2 hits so far this year. Sox were hitting only .210 after the split of the first 2 games coming into this one. 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the 7th. Morris working out of the stretch. Here's the pitch to Paciorek. Swung on and missed. He tried to check his swing, but he went more than halfway. That pitch was maybe a foot outside and away. 0-1 to count to Tom Paciorek, who struck out on the same type of pitch, that breaking ball down and away his first time up. Had bright blue skies overhead all day today, but the weather's still frigid here on the south side. Morris to the plate. Paciorek punches it, and it's caught by the first baseman. Lazinski gets back in time. Oh, my, a line drive on a check swing, headed down the right field line, and it was caught by the first sacker, Garbet. Well, I'm going to check here. I think they have changed. That might well be Bergman at first base. 2 out. That's the best hit ball, and Paciorek didn't even take a full turn on it. And Lazinski was lucky to get back. Greg Walker is going to bat for the first time in the regular season. Left-handed hitting young first baseman from Douglas, Georgia, hit .270 with 10 home runs, 55 RBIs, and had an awesome record as a pinch hitter last year, his rookie year. As a pinch swinger, Walker had a .371 average. 13 pinch hits and 35 trips, including a homer, and a league high of 15 runs batted in as a pinch hitter. This is his first at bat this year. He had another great spring. Led the Sox in home runs down in Sarasota with 5, and also led him in RBIs with 17. Left-handed batter, slightly closed stance. First pitch outside of ball. Walker batting for Vance Law, who was 0 for 1 on a walk today. Vance now hitless in 7 at-bats through 3 games. Morris to the belt. They're not holding Lazinski at first. Here's a pitch swung on, and the foul ball hit the mask of catcher Lance Parrish and bounced back to the wall. The count is a ball and a strike. So far, the White Sox are 1 for 1 in the pinch hitting department. Jerry Hairston singled yesterday off Milt Wilcox, the same guy singled off of last year in April, breaking up Wilcox's bid for a perfect game with 2 out in the 9th. We may still yet see Hairston in this game. Outfield straightaway and deep for Walker. He can go to all fields. Here's the pitch. Swung, and he missed right off the end of the bat. Good pitch away from him. 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Greg Walker. Batting for Vance Law here in the bottom of the 7th. Lazinski at first, 1 out. They're not bothering to hold him. Sox trailing 4-0. Morris to the belt. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Little tap to the first base side. Might be close. The shovel to Morris, and they get the out at first with Lazinski moving over to second. 3-1 put out, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, a walk, and a man left. The Sox have left a total of 4 men on, all put there by pitcher Jack Morris. His no-hitter is intact. After 7, Detroit 4, the White Sox nothing.
I teach my Olympic wrestlers 3 things: position, pressure, and concentration.
Budweiser, proud sponsor of the 1984 U.S. Olympic team, salutes America's Olympic coaches, the team behind the team.
I tell them to get position, you've got to set your stance and concentrate on your opponent's motion. You've got to pressure him. Then, when you know the time is right, you attack. Because at this level, everyone knows his stuff. So to win, you got to get there first.
The Olympics take teamwork, and Budweiser is proud to be part of that team.
This one's for you, for all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Believe me, by the time my guys reach L.A., they'll be ready.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
WMAQ.
Compare quality, value, and price. It's Toyota. Only Toyota's truck line has been completely redesigned for '84. 16 all-new models. Toyota, the only small trucks with electronic fuel injection. It's standard equipment on every two-wheel drive SR5 Sport model. Toyota, highest running ground clearance small 4x4s. And this year, there are Toyota 4x4 diesels. Toyota, #1 import trucks in America. Because your Chicagoland Toyota dealers got it right.
Final reminder, Painter Cap Day scheduled here tomorrow. Final game of the three-game weekend series with the Tigers, and we've got Wristwatch Day coming up on Sunday, April 29th, with the Red Sox in town. The first 15,000 of you youngsters, 14 years of age or under, will receive a free quality White Sox wristwatch, courtesy of True Value Hardware Stores. Call Ticketmaster at 559-1212 and use your charge card, or stop by Comiskey Park. It's True Value Wristwatch Day, Sunday, April 29th. The Red Sox are our guests. Top of the order to face Tommy Brennan here in the Tiger 8th. Whitaker, Trammell, and Barbet scheduled to hit. Brennan delivers to Whitaker. Check, swing, and a strike. It's in there. Good pitch. Knee high inside corner. Tim Hewlett at third base, replacing Vance Law, who was lifted for pinch hitter Greg Walker in the 7th. Out the way around to the left and shallow for Kulu Whitaker. Swings and pulls a ground ball, a skimmer to Julio at second. Sidearm flip to Pachorik, and Whitaker is gone. He's 1 for 4 today with an RBI. Scored the Tigers' 4th and final run with a fielder's choice, a ground ball hit right at Cruz. But Julio's throw to the plate was a bit high, and Gibson, who was the runner at third, slid in under the tag. One out. Here's Trammell, hitless and 3 at-bats. He's bounced into a double play, lined to left, and grounded to third. So far, so good for Tom Brennan. An inning and a third. Struck out 2 and walked 1 so far. Trammell steps in. They play him deep and straight away. First pitch, sidearm breaking ball is high and away. Ball 1. The bottom of the 8th, Fletcher, Cruz, and Rudy Law due to bat for the White Sox, although we might see another pinch hitter or so. Hairston's still on the bench. Trammell takes a slider outside, ball 2. That's Bergman. So he was the fellow who caught that line drive off the bat of Pachorik in the last inning. He came in to replace Garbet. Fastball strike call. 2-1.
Really made Sparky look like a genius, because he just brought him in defensively, and I got to believe Garbet would not have gotten that line shot.
You're probably right. When you're hot, you're hot. Pitch on the way. Trammell, a one-hop liner that skips over Julio's glove and into right field. Well, he never moved for the ball, and he tried to short hop it. The only problem was it came up higher than he anticipated. Just skipped right over his glove out into right field. See if they call a boot on that play, although I think they'll probably award Trammell with a hit. If so, it'd be only the 5th hit of the ball game, all belonging to the Tigers. 1 on, 1 out, and here's Bergman, who drove in 2 runs with a base hit yesterday to cap a 3-run first inning off Dotson, and it turned out it wasn't a game winner in the books, but it was the difference. Well, they're giving a hit to Trammell, and some of the fans here at Comiskey Park don't exactly agree with the official score on the play. I don't think Julio touched it.
No, he didn't. You notice Bergman wears sunglasses when he's at the plate. He does not in the field. And doctors diagnosed a few years ago that he is sunblind. Here's the toss to first, but he has to wear sunglasses most of the time, and especially at the plate, because his eyes squint so bad because of the bright sun. And it's interesting that he doesn't wear them defensively, only at the plate.
Brennan, another toss to first, keeping Trammell close. We had surmised as much, and of course, going back as far as I can in my baseball memory, Stan Lopata might have been the first one who wore prescription sunglasses when he played in day baseball back in the 50s. There's a strike, a throw to second. Bad hop throw, goes through to center, but getting up, Trammell will not be able to advance. That'll be a steal for Alan Trammell, his first of the year.
Bergman confirmed it when I talked to him today.
Well, Bergman took a strike. The throw by Pudge was into the dirt, got by Fletcher. But Rudy Law charged in on the play and backed it up nicely, and Trammell was unable to take the extra base. Bergman, left-handed batter, just a slightly open stance, upright. His only hit in 8 at-bats, knocked in 2 yesterday, a single to right. Now he's up there with a runner at second and 1 out. 0-1 the count. Brennan to the belt. Here's the pitch. Swung on and peeled foul, out of play. Upper deck, third base side, right under the old football press box, now called the Skybox here in Comiskey Park.
He said with or without sunglasses, he couldn't even see Augusto's pitches yesterday in the late innings. He said that's why he felt the Tigers had a great chance to win it. And Paciorek could hardly see in the ninth inning. That sun glaring off the green background in center field really posed problems for the hitters.
Strike three called. A beauty thrown by Brennan as he backdoored the outside corner, snapping the curveball over the outside edge, and that's his third strikeout. 6 for the White Sox against the Tigers today. Brennan looks very, very sharp.
I think I mentioned he pitched against the White Sox in '73, Joe. It was actually 10 years ago, 1974. And as you said, a long road to get to the big leagues and stay there.
Here's Lance Parrish with 2 out, a runner at second. He walked and scored the first Tiger run ahead of Chet Lemon's 2-run homer off Bannister in the second. Fastball too close at the knees, ball 1. Since then, Parrish has grounded out twice, so he is 0 for 2 today and 1 for 5 on the series. Travel at second with 2 out, the outfield deep and pretty much straight away. Infield backing around to the left. Brennan looks out there at second time and now takes the foot off the rubber. 4-0, the Tigers lead. They got 2 on Chet Lemon's first home run of the year into the lower deck, with Parrish aboard in the second off Floyd Bannister, and back-to-back doubles set up their 2-run inning in the 5th off Floyd. Brennan to the belt. The pitch to Parrish. Wide sweeping curve, low and away. Nice stop by Carlton Fisk. Ball 2 to Lance Parrish. We're in the 9th up in Minneapolis. The Twins buried their old nemesis Mike Flanagan in Baltimore today. They're leading at 13-2 in the 9th. Stretched by Brennan. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Ground ball. Deep in the hole at short. Grabbed by Fletcher. Backhanded throw. 1 hop by Paciorek. Got it first. Great save by Tommy for the out. That was a great play all the way around as Hewlett dove for the ball. Fletcher backhanded it deep in the hole. Couldn't get it all the way over there with anything on it and keep it airborne, so he one-hopped it, and with some nifty footwork back across the bag, Paciorek made this play. No runs, 1 hit, 1 Tiger left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. We've only got 2 more turns against Morris. Tigers lead it 4-0.
The White Sox, WMAQ.
Why do they call Texaco's Haviland Supreme Motor Oil Supreme? Well, it not only gives you proven engine protection up front, demonstrated and proven in tough state trooper service, Haviland Supreme also has a special friction fighter that gives improved mileage, proven in fuel economy test. No wonder they call Haviland Supreme. Now, buy 5 quarts of any grade of Haviland motor oil and get a $1.50 rebate check from Texaco. Details at participating Texaco retailers and stores.
Chicago White Sox baseball is brought to you in part by your 62 Chicagoland Chevy dealers, the guys with the blue bow tie, offering the best products, the best deals, and customer satisfaction to keep you coming back. By True Value. The more you got to do, the more you need. True Value hardware stores, because they've got what it takes. And by the Illinois State Lottery. Have a ball. Play the lottery.
I stopped at the store Monday to buy my usual $5 worth, and I got in my car and put on WMAQ and listened to the number, and there was 570. Turned right back around and went back to the store.
Quick money for you, huh? How much did you get?
$290.
$290.
And you can hear the Illinois State Lottery drawings wherever you are, every night at 6:55, only on WMAQ. For the first word on those numbers, keep it here for the drawing each evening at 6:55 on 67 WMAQ.
Well, guess who Jack Morris is going to have to pitch to leading off the bottom of the 8th? Jerry Hairston. He got a pinch single in his first 1984 regular season at bat yesterday, and who led the American League in both pinch hitting appearances and pinch hits last year, including one that ruined Milt Wilcox's 2-out in the 9th bid for a perfect game here at Comiskey Park on April 15th of the year ago. Hairston will lead off against Jack Morris, who has a no-hitter through 7 innings here this afternoon.
And it's almost 51 weeks to the day that Morris had that 1-hitter broken up with 2 out in the 9th inning.
So Hairston batting for Scott Fletcher, who bounced to third and popped to second in his 2 trips against Morris. Jerry, a switch hitter, will bat left-handed. Boy, he had a solid year last year. Very quiet year. 294, 22 runs batted in, 5 homers. So he steps in there to lead off the bottom of the 8th, and once again, for the second time in as many years, he'll be trying to break up a no-hit bid by a Tiger pitcher in this ballpark.
You don't think Morris is thinking about that?
Well, you know it had to cross his mind. The right-hander into the lineup. Here's the pitch to Hairston. Fastball strike. He piped it right down the middle, just under the belt.
And that's the pitch that Wilcox gave Hairston that he got the base hit on a fastball.
Something even more amazing, that's only the 100th pitch thrown by Morris today, and he threw about a third of them in that tricky 4th inning when he loaded the bases on walks with nobody out. He's going to rub up the ball as Hairston backed out. 0-1 to Jerry.
You know, the interesting thing is the Tiger defense has not had a tough play all day. The toughest was the line shot that Bergman got.
Pitch on the way. Hairston holds a sharp ground ball. Great stop by Bergman. Flip to Morris. He got him.
Again, Bergman. I tell you, Sparky took Garbe out, and he brought Bergman in the 7th inning. Did a great job on stabbing that line drive off the bat of Paciorek. Here, he went down to one knee, went back and down on his fanny, and threw over to Morris covering for the first out.
That's a double if the ball gets by him, and it was hit sharply on the ground. That was a much tougher play than the line drive by Paciorek. He just happened to be in the way of the line drive by Paciorek.
And credit Jack Morris. He was off that mound in a hurry.
Over there quickly. So the last 2 plays have gone 3-1 and been relatively close. Here's Julio Cruz. He has struck out and bounced out to first unassisted. He takes low a ball.
Well, the last Tiger to throw a no-hitter was the candidate for governor in Kentucky this year, Jim Bunning. Threw a no-hitter in Boston.
Pitch on the way. Julio, one hopper. Comebacker right back to Morris. This will be easy. Lobs it over to first. 2 gone in the 8th. Boy, he's got 4 more outs to go.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a White Sox crowd here, no doubt about it, but they're cheering Morris's every pitch right now. They figure the way he's been pitching, and with a 4-run lead, at least they'll go home having seen a no-hitter. But the White Sox have other ideas.
Talking between innings, we were worried about getting a hit from about the 3rd inning on, the way this guy was going. 2 gone in the 8th. Here's Rudy Law, the leadoff batter. He's hit the hardest shot off Morris, a deep drive that Gibson caught up against the wall in the 1st inning. Pitched low and away a ball. Since then, Rudy has walked, and he struck out the last time up, so he is 0 for 2 today. They're playing him straight up in the outfield now. Not often when you see the outfield play Rudy Law straight away. Morris has the sign from Parrish's catcher. The right-hander brings it home. Tapper to the right side. Charging is Bergman. Flips to Morris. Covering again. He got him at first by 2 steps. And he'll take the no-hitter intact into the 9th. No runs, no hits, nobody left. 3 infield ground ball outs. We go to the 9th here in Chicago. The Tigers lead it 4-0.
Talk to Tony La Russa tomorrow night at 8 on WMAQ.
If you've been thinking about buying a Buick or Olds, think twice. Why spend more when your Chicagoland Chevy dealers offer a comparable car for less? The front-wheel drive Cavalier starts at only $62,414. That's $919 less than the Buick Skyhawk. $992 less than Olds Forenza. Or consider the front-wheel drive Chevy Celebrity with a starting price of only $77,002. That's $13,003 less than Old Sierra, $14,008 less than Buick Century. Manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes tax, title, and destination charges. Level of standard equipment may vary. All cars may be created equal. Some just happen to cost less. Chevy Cavalier and Chevy Celebrity are just 2 great examples at your 62 Chicagoland Chevy dealers. The guys with the blue bow tie.
Stop by Bridgeway Chevrolet Lansing, River Chevrolet Des Plaines, Riza Chevrolet Bridgeview, and Rockenbach Chevrolet Sales in Grays Lake.
When professionals work on a project, they demand quality materials and well-crafted tools. Hi, Pat Summerall to say with True Value Hardware Store's exclusive line of quality master mechanic tools and accessories, both the professional and do-it-yourselfer will find what they need. You can do a variety of jobs with the help of the versatile Master Mechanic portable workbench, including a movable vise. It's only $47.59, exclusively at participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers, where you'll find values in every department.
Well, we have a new pitcher for the White Sox as we go to the 9th inning with the Tigers and Jack Morris tossing a no-hitter thus far, lead it by a score of 4-0. Salome Barojas comes comes on with a record of 3-3 a year ago with 12 saves and an earned run average of 2.47 to make his 84 debut. Tom Brennan did a nice job for the White Sox in 2 innings. He allowed no runs on 1 hit. He walked a man and he struck out 3. Jerry Dybzinski stays in the ballgame, or comes into the ballgame at shortstop. And Jerry Hairston stays in the ballgame, and he is in center field.
So the Dibber will be officially slotted in the number 1 spot. Rudy Law's position in the batting order. Tony trying to save a bat. Might get a chance to use it, but the way it looks right now, it's going to be slim and none. Here's Herndon leading off against the chunky right-hander from Mexico, Salome Barojas. Drops down sidearm and misses low and inside a ball. Herndon has flied to right, struck out, and bounced to Cruz at second. He is 0 for 3 today and 0 for 6 so far in the 2 games here in Chicago. In fact, he has only 1 hit so far. Strike call. Good fastball at the knees. Well, in the bottom of the 9th, Morris will have to face Fisk, Baines, and Luzinski to pick up his no-hitter if he can do it.
2 right-handers sandwich around the left-hander.
Barojas delivers. Inside, almost hit Herndon in the knee. Ball 2.
Media, for your information, if Morris pitches a no-hitter, NBC, the network televising the game today,
2-1 the count.
immediately afterwards for an interview.
Herndon, tall, lanky left-handed batter. Cocks that bat up. He's a nervous-looking type of hitter. Check swing on the slider low and away. Did he go? Yes, he did, said first base umpire Tim McClellan. That evens the count at 2-2. 4 runs, 5 hits for the Tigers. No runs, no hits for the White Sox. We're in the top of the 9th. Britt Burns just getting in some tosses in the bullpen. There's a pitch low and away, backhanded nicely out of the dirt by Carlton Fisk. Ball 3 and strike 2 the count to leadoff man Larry Herndon here in the 9th. But Rojas had a pretty good spring. He was second to Dennis Lamp in saves last year with 12 and led the club his rookie year 2 years ago. The 3-2 pitch on the way, and Herndon swings and dribbles it foul off to the left. Still 3-2. So Salome's first regular season appearance. Dybzinski to shortstop. Hairston in center field. Salome has the sign. Here again, the payoff pitch to Herndon. Swung on and missed. He struck him out with a low breaking ball. That's the 7th Tiger to go down swinging in the first for Barojas.
Well, you take a look at the box scores throughout the league as well as what's happened here today. A lot of strikeouts for pitchers this time of the year. Morris has struck out 7. Joe just mentioned the White Sox pitchers have struck out a combined 7 Tigers. Johnny Grubb's coming to the plate.
Yeah, Johnny Grubb's going to bat for Rod Allen, who was hitless in 3 at-bats today. Struck out twice around a ground ball to short. Grubb, a veteran left-handed hitting first baseman outfielder. 0 for 1 so far this year. He's been around. He's played with Cleveland, Texas. 3rd year with the Tigers, upright straightaway stance. He was injured most of the year last year. They didn't get much out of Grubb at all. They play him around to the right, expecting him to pull. First pitch swung on, pop foul, third base side. The ball's going to drift out of the ballpark.
You know, Joe, we were talking about the hitters having problems in the 8th and 9th inning yesterday because of the sun. That problem is not posed today because it's earlier. It's only 3:30 in the afternoon. And the only shadows right now are just at home plate. Where yesterday the shadows were extended beyond the pitcher.
There's a ground ball to the left side, backhanded deep in the hole behind third by Hewlett. Long throw across, and they get Grubb by a stride. There's a fine play by Timmy Hewlett.
Well, he made a fine play yesterday and another one today. And this young man has not been a third baseman until spring training this year.
Well, the thing that made that play so tough is they had the infield pull way around to the right, and Grubb went down the third baseline with it. 2 gone. That's the 3rd star defensive play for the Sox today. Pachorik on the play to retire the side in the 8th inning. Fine play at first, and Vance Law also robbed Parrish. Parrish has been robbed twice today.
And that one by Pachorik, a combination, Fletcher and Pachorik.
Here's the pitch to Chet Lemon. Swung on, come back, right back to Barojas. Makes a great leaping stab, throws to first, and Chet is out of there. He hit the 2-run homer and a double. scored 2 runs. He's the big gun, and it all boils down to the ninth, the bottom of the ninth. History could be made here. Crowd up on their feet as Morris gets set to take to the mound with a no-hitter intact and a 4-0 lead.
Here it comes. The WMAQ is going to make you rich sweepstakes number 2.
I'd really like to win a trip to Hawaii.
Oh, I'd like to win a motor home. I'd love to win a TV. I would like to win a trip. Maybe New York.
Oh, I'd love to go to Miami.
I would like to win a year's free groceries.
I'd really like to win a trip to Hawaii.
I'd like to win money. Oh, I'd like to win a Shasta motor home. I'd love to win a Sony TV. I would like to win...
These are just a few of the fabulous prizes you told us you'd like to win. When WMAQ brings back the sweepstakes, we have great news for you. The time has arrived. WMAQ has compiled even bigger and better prizes in a brand new, beautiful catalog. And we're mailing the catalog to you, so look for it in your mail. When your catalog arrives, keep it in a safe place so you can win the prize of your dreams. WMAQ wants to make you rich.
Hi, Sox fans. This is Scott Fletcher with a great idea for getting free athletic equipment or computers for your school. All you have to do is save labels from White Sox Pizza. Each label is worth 5 cents toward the purchase of any athletic equipment or computer you select. Everyone loves great-tasting White Sox pizza, so saving labels is easy when everyone pitches in. For complete information, write to Mr. Z, Cedarburg, Wisconsin, 53012, or call toll-free 1-800-558-5131.
Along with Lauren Brown, this is Joe McConnell. Stay glued. We've got the bottom of the ninth coming up. Morris in a bid for a no-hitter with a 4-0 lead, and he'll face Fisk, Baines, and Lazinski.
Well, it's been a great ball game, an outstanding pitch game by Morris, and you fans can be a part of it. And it's more important than ever before to get your White Sox tickets in advance. Stop by the Comiskey Park box office Monday through Friday from 10 till 6, or get your tickets by mail right to the White Sox, Comiskey Park, 35th and Shields. Chicago, Illinois, 60616. Don't forget to include $2 for postage and handing. And please specify game dates, number of tickets, and price, as well as the seats desired.
They just announced the paid attendance 24-something, so 24,000 plus here, all on the edges of their seat. The wrong guy's pitching the no-hitter for the wrong team, but when you've come this far, you realize how rare these moments are, and I think probably it's about 50-50. About half the White Sox fans would like to see him go ahead and get it as long as they're going to win the game anyway. That'll be something to remember.
And it's been 25 years since the Tiger has thrown a no-hitter.
Here's the pitch to Carlton Fisk. He swings and squibs one down to first base side. A fair ball trickles right over the bag, and there's one gone. As Bergman just waited for it, picked it up and stepped on the bag, and Fisk is gone on one pitch. One thing about it, Lauren, they're not waiting him out. He retired the side on 6 pitches in the 8th, and that's the first play out of the last 5 that hasn't involved the pitcher and the first baseman.
And you know, about a third of his pitches through the first 8 innings came in that 4th inning when he walked the first 3 men.
Here's Harold Baines. A strikeout, a walk, and a grounder to third. They play him straight up in the outfield. Infield maybe a step or 2 around to the right. One gone, bottom of the ninth. Morris 2 outs away from a no-hitter. The right-hander cranks it up and kneels outside a fastball. Rangers now lead the Yankees 5-4 in the 4th at Arlington. Jack Morris rocks into the windup. Here's the pitch to Baines. Strike on the outside corner, a heater, and it's 1-1. One ball and 1 strike to Harold Baines. 1 out, nobody on, bottom of the ninth. Tigers lead by 4. But the story is on the mound. Jack Morris working for a no-hitter. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Comebacker. Morris knocks it down. Picks it up. Throws to first. 2 out. 1 to go. And Lazinski, the scheduled hitter. You know, this is hard to believe. I had not seen a Major League no-hitter until the final week of regular season play in Oakland last year when young Mike Warren no-hit the White Sox. This would be the second time the White Sox have been no-hit in about 10 days of regular season play going back to last year.
Should he get Lazinski, that is.
Well, Lazinski dribbled a double play ball with the bases loaded, nobody out. He's up there now with 2 gone in the ninth. Here's the pitch to the ball, low and away, ball 1. Everybody's up on their feet now.
The last White Sox no-hitter, by the way, was in Oakland in 1976, a combined no-hitter with Blue Moon Odom and Francisco Barrios.
Boy, look at those Tigers. They're all up on their feet, prowling the dugout, pacing back and forth, pulling for their right-hander on the mound. Morris into the windup. Here's the pitch to Lazinski into the dirt. Ball 2. Ron Kittle on deck would bat if Lazinski can reach here. 2 out of the 9th. Morris 1 out away from a no-hitter. The second time within a year that a Tiger pitcher has gotten this far with a no-hitter intact. Hairston broke it up last April. Here's the windup. 2-0 pitch to the bull. Swung on, dribbled foul down the third base side. Count is 2 balls and a strike. Two and 1 to Greg Lazinski. 2 gone in the 9th. Morris 1 out away from baseball history. A 20-game winner a year ago. Already his second start with 3 days rest. He's working on a no-hit shutout. 2 gone in the 9th. 2-1 pitch to Lazinski. Swung on and missed. There's the changeup, split-fingered forkball, and the count is 2-2. The next pitch could bring it. Morris tugs on the bill of his cap, looks in to get the sign from Lance Parrish's catcher. The right-hander into the windup. 2-2 pitch to Lazinski. Check swing, foul. Dribble back behind the plate. That's the same kind of swing that got Morris out of the big trap that he had built for himself in the 4th inning when Lazinski tried to check his swing on a low breaking ball, that split-fingered fastball, and tapped a little weak roller back to the mound. They turned the double play. That was the big play so far for Morris and the Tigers. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lazinski standing in there. Outfield deep straight away. Morris has the sign. Here's the windup. 2-2 pitch. Outside and low, and he fell down. He put everything on that one. The pitch was low outside, and Morris took a tumble on his follow-through, and the count is 3-2 now. You don't think he doesn't want this? Oh, my.
You talk about drama. Everybody is on their feet in the entire ballpark. And he's gone down to 1 pitch here, a 3-2 count. Nobody on, 2 out.
He's going to rub up a new ball. A full count to Greg Lazinski with 2 out, nobody out in the 9th. Tigers lead it 4-0, but more importantly, Morris 1 pitch away from a possible no-hitter. Parrish hangs out the sign. Morris has it. The right-hander into the windup. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4, just a bit low. A fastball over the plate but below the knees. And listen to the home crowd boo. The home plate umpire, Derwin Merrill. That's the 6th walk issued by Morris.
And Parrish down to his knees with his hands in the air. I'll tell you, that was a tough pitch. And Morris can't believe it. He couldn't believe it. The Tiger bench jumped up. They're already up. They just went about a foot off the dugout deck.
Now here's Ron Kittle. He has popped to second. Struck out on that split-fingered fastball and flied to right his last time up. And now Dave Stegman's going to run for Lazinski at first. 2 out, a runner at first. Morris has struck out 7, and he has walked 6. 3 in 1 inning. 3 in succession with no outs, and got out of it. Now the attention focuses on last year's Rookie of the Year, Ron Kittle, and the veteran right-hander Morris. Here's the pitch, fastball up and in, ball 1. Outfield deep and around to the left, infield back. On the rim. Stegman, they're not bothering to hold him. Morris working out of the stretch. Here's the pitch to Kittle. Swung on and missed. He was way out in front of that changeup and all the way around to find the ball got there. And the count is even at 1-1. Oh, Morris came within 3 inches of striking out Greg Lazinski on a 3-2 pitch. But the bull got the call, and so Kittle's up there with a 1-1 count. The delivery on the way. Kittle swings and dribbles it foul down the third base side. Past third base coach Jim Leyland. And now it might be down to 1 more pitch. 1-2, the count on Ron Kittle. Still looking for that first hit of the year. And Jack Morris looking to no-hit the White Sox with 2 down in the 9th and 2 strikes on Kittle. Morris has a sign, working out of the stretch. 1-2 pitch to Kittle. He struck him out. No hitter. Jack Morris. Lance Parrish comes out and squeezes the big guy in a bear hug. Here comes the Tiger bench as Kittle took a called third strike on a check swing. The 8th strikeout of the game. And history belongs to Jack Morris on this sunny afternoon at Comiskey Park. 4-0. The Tigers win it on a no-hitter by Jack Morris.
Well, the toughest point for Jack Morris occurred in the 4th inning. He walked Rudy Laub to lead off the inning. Laub stole second. Then he walked Carlton Fisk and Harold Baines. And the White Sox, trailing 2-0, had the bases loaded and nobody out. He got Greg Luzinski on a check swing right back to the mound, and the Tigers turned over a 1-2-3 double play. And then he struck out Ron Kittle to get out of the jam. Never was he in trouble after that, though he had given up a leadoff walk to Luzinski in the 7th inning. So Jack Morris becomes the first Detroit Tiger to throw a no-hitter in 27 years when Jim Bunning no-hit the Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park 3-0 back in 1958.
And it's been a long time for this ballpark, which is a pitcher's ballpark. September 10th, 1967, right-hander Joel Horland no-hit the Detroit Tigers here. That is the last time until today that a no-hitter has been pitched here at Comiskey Park. What a performance for Jack Morris. 8 strikeouts, 6 walks. And the Tigers have now taken 2 in a row from the White Sox and 4 in a row at the start of the '84 season. 4 runs, 5 hits, 3 runners left for the Tigers. No runs, no hits. Total of 5 men left on for the White Sox. Morris gets his 2nd win of the early season. Floyd Bannister, who pitched well enough today to win on some occasions, takes the loss, and a perfect relief job by Brennan and Barojas. But the day belongs to Jack Morris and, of course, to his center fielder, Chet Lemon, who won the game with a 2-run homer and then later doubled and scored the 3rd Tiger run.
And Jack Morris would not have had a no-hitter had it not been for the assertion of Maine South product Dave Bergman, who Sparky Anderson put in the lineup defensively in the 7th inning, and a line shot off the bat of Tom Paciorek that Bergman stabbed, and you got to believe it would have gone by Garbe. And then in the 8th inning, on a shot by Harrison, he went down in the seat of his pants and got the ball near the foul line, and he threw him out. And Bergman, certainly the defensive star for the Tigers here this afternoon. Once again, Jack Morris with a no-hitter as the Tigers beat the White Sox by a score of 4-0. Stay tuned now for post-game coverage of this afternoon's game on the Chicago White Sox Radio Network.
It's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So here's to you. For all you do, you know the King of Beers is coming through. For all you do, this bun's for So here's to you. For all you do, you know the King of Beers is coming through. For all you do, this bun's for you.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Put a little more color in your life today. Take advantage of Zeta's Color TV baseball specials. There's a rainbow selection of styles and screens and sizes to choose from. Table models, consoles, and portables, all priced to save you money. Your nearby Zenith dealer has the right Zenith Color TV at the price right for you. Stop in today and make the Color TV selection that'll brighten your days and nights for years to come. Zenith, the quality goes in before the name goes on.
The White Sox, 67 WMAQ.
The game has been brought to you by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Your Chicagoland Chevrolet dealer, the guys with the blue bow ties. Your Zenith dealers with the smart sets, the official TV of the White Sox. The 6 central tire locations, bumper-to-bumper care for cars and light trucks. True Value hardware stores. More than just a name, it's their way of doing business. Weebles, your value store, more than ever before. Texaco, makers of 92-octane premium unleaded with ethanol. Mr. Z's, distributors of great-tasting White Sox pizza. Ameritech Mobile Communications. General Finance for consumer and home equity loans. By Jay's, you can't stop eating them. By the Yellow Pages, the small investment that keeps your big investments paying off. The CNA Insurance Companies and your Chicagoland Toyota dealers.
67 WMAQ Radio and Steiger Tractor are teaming up again to bring you the WMAQ Steiger Drive to Succeed sweepstakes. And that's the sound of a brand new 325 horsepower Steiger Panther 1000 tractor, complete with a 12-speed power pulse controlled twin disc transmission and a fuel-saving Cummins Big Cam 3 engine. It's your chance to win the most advanced four-wheel drive tractor in the world, the Steiger Panther KP 1325. Again, this year, WMAQ and Steiger will give away a magnificent Panther 1000. Just visit your local Steiger dealer and sign up to win. Entry forms also available at other participating dealers, from which the winner will receive 250 acres each of DeKalb Pfizer genetic seed corn and soybean seed, Monsanto Lasso corn herbicide, Union Carbide brute corn insecticide, and 25 tons of WR Grace Nourish Mix fertilizer. This is WMAQ's Agribusiness Director Ralph Seeley. I'll be looking for you on the road to farming success, driving your new Panther 1000 from Steiger and 67 WMAQ.
Lorne Brown back at Comiskey Park, where Jack Morris has joined the baseball ranks of immortality here today as he tossed his first no-hitter and his 90th Major League victory. As Morris no-hit the White Sox, he walked a total of 6 in the ballgame, but got out of it as the White Sox stranded only 5. In fact, the White Sox wound up with only 26 official at-bats because of the double play ball that came in the 4th inning, when the White Sox had the bases loaded and nobody out. That was really the only time that they threatened Morris. That was when he walked Law, Fisk, and Baines to lead off the 4th. He walked Vance Law with 1 out in the 5th inning. He walked Luzinski leading off the 7th, and he walked Luzinski with nobody on and 2 out in the 9th inning, but came back to strike out Ron Kittle and get the no-hitter. And it had occurred before 24,616 here on a cool Saturday afternoon at Comiskey Park. So the pitching star, of course, Jack Morris, the hitting star, former White Sox outfielder Chet Lemon, with a 2-run homer in the 2nd inning, and he triggered a 2-run rally with a leadoff double and scored in the 5th inning. And the defensive star, and this has to be noted, that Barbaro Garbe got his first Major League start at first base today, but Sparky Anderson lifted him in the bottom of the 7th and brought on the veteran Dave Bergman for defensive purposes, and he made 2 sensational defensive plays in the 7th and in the 8th to help preserve the no-hitter. The ball hit by Pachork was probably the hardest hit ball of the afternoon that he lined out to Bergman, though the first batter, Rudy Law, drove Kirk Gibson all the way to the bullpen area, in fact bullpen number 1 I should say, in right field, when he slammed off the screen out there, and then really did not have a tough play defensively for his defense until the play by Bergman in the 7th inning, and then Bergman with another gem in the 8th inning. So the Tigers win it. They are now 4-0. They are red hot. They'll send Dave Rosemuth tomorrow against Tom Seaver. We're hoping to talk to Lance Parrish, the Tiger catcher, and we hope to have him on the air with us right after this message.
And now M. Hyman and Son and Sedgefield Jeans presents Jokes About Your Jeans.
Hi, what's your name? Bob. Stand up, Bob. Hey, those jeans are kind of short, pal. I think they need to shrink just a little more, and you'll be ready for the flood. And how about you over there? What's your name, sir? Johnny. Gee, you wash those jeans, John. They're a little tight, huh? So, how are things in the girls' choir these days? Ladies and gentlemen, the men's jeans don't fit. This is terrible.
Yes, jeans that don't fit anymore sure are funny, aren't they? Oh, unless, of course, you happen to be wearing them. Avoid the embarrassment with Sedgefield jeans, the 100% cotton jeans that won't shrink or lose their original fit no matter how much you wash them.
Hold it. Stop the music. Will you look at this guy? Your jeans, it looks like a miniskirt. Oh, sorry, man.
Go into M. Iman & Son and ask for Sedgefield jeans. They fit forever like they fit in the store. They guarantee it.
Lauren Brown back at Comiskey Park, where Jack Morris tossed the first Detroit Tiger no-hitter in 26 years since Jim Bunning no-hit the Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park 3-0 back in 1958. An irony of ironies, this is the first no-hitter to be thrown in Comiskey Park since Joe Horland did it in 1967, and he no-hit, you guessed it, the Detroit Tigers. Lance Parrish, we're hoping to get on, the Detroit Tiger catcher. Lance, are you down in the dugout right now? Apparently not, so we'll hang a little bit, and hopefully our fellas can get Lance. And as we mentioned, the crowd, 24,646 here this afternoon, saw the Tiger right-hander get his first no-hitter on this, his 90th win. And you recall a year ago, Milt Wilcox came within one man of throwing a perfect ball game when Jerry Hairston got a base hit off of him with 2 out in the 9th inning. And that happened 51 weeks ago, shy a day. Happened on April 15th, 1983. And here, on the 7th of April, 1984, Jack Morris throws a no-hitter for the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers got on the board in the 2nd inning. Lance Parrish, the Tiger catcher, led it off with a walk, and after 2 out, Chet Lemon on a 3-2 pitch drove it out of here to make it 2-0, and that was all the Tigers needed as things turned out. Though Detroit added a pair in the 5th inning on a double by Chet Lemon, a double by Gibson. He was sacrificed to third and came home on a fielder's choice by Lou Whitaker, and that ended the scoring for the Tigers. Detroit had only 5 hits, 2 of them by Chet Lemon. And some good relief pitching by Tom Brennan, the South Sider, who in 2 innings allowed no runs on 1 hit, struck out 3. Salome Barojas pitched a perfect 9th inning, retiring the side in order.